What's up, bitches? Welcome to Deliciously Nothing, episode 142. Tonight, I have a fantastic group with me. I've got our regular co-host, who he's coming. I promise. I've got Rev, or the Grim Reaper.
I'm the ghost of Rev.
The ghost of Rev. I'm Liquid Death Can. I've got the Joker, a.k.a. Dirty4.
And a half.
And James Andrews.
That's correct.
Comics from Lexington, Kentucky.
Yep.
A beautiful place to be. I've gone there before to do stand-up.
Yeah, I saw you at Pivot.
Yes, that's where we met.
Yep.
At Pivot.
Is that a gay club?
No,
it's a brewery.
that just went out of business, which is sad as fuck.
Yeah, that is a bummer because they had a sick outdoor show for the summer.
It was just the stupid owner didn't want to keep doing it because he didn't want to have to be involved.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
He just didn't want to run a business.
he just didn't want to run a business. He wanted to rent the building to somebody to pay him for all the recipes and shit, and then rent the building from him also.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
He's
ridiculous.
trying to get someone to just run his business for him.
But pay him to run his business.
But pay him the
genius.
money for the business.
That's genius. I'm not even mad at that. That's
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
it's a lot.
huge genius.
It was absolutely.
It's like
nuts.
over a porn company. With the guys that just do have all the sex for me and then pay me to have the sex.
I think they have a little couch over there.
Oh, good job.
We do have a couch. over there.
It is a casting couch.
That does not surprise me.
What do y'all cast?
Y'all got some
All
serious
kinds of movies.
airplane stuff going on, don't you?
Yeah, the airport's not very far from where we're at.
Oh, okay.
The way the houses are built, you don't hear it inside the houses, but being out here, you definitely hear it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What?
It's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That could be
Well,
professional.
welcome to
All right,
Nashville.
well, welcome to the show. Let's
the show.
get things started a little bit. Let's start with each one of you. What do you guys do? Are you a comedian or?
Yeah, I've been doing stand-up for 12 and a half years now.
Wow.
Make sure you guys.
Oh, am I not close enough for you?
No, you're not. No, keep about an inch in between you and the phone.
Okay, yeah. So I've been doing stand-up for about 12 and a half years now.
Are you out of where? Lexington?
Yeah, majority of it. I lived in Central Florida for a little while. Did a couple shows down there while I was living there, but
What's the Florida scene like?
oh, it's fucking dead.
Oh.
Okay. So there's Orlando, but to get on a show in Orlando, you got to know somebody, and if you don't know anybody, you can't just move in and get on a show. I mean, you have to go to the clubs and wait on the owners to be there, and then get passed to get on a freaking open mic. It's crazy. So,
for an open mic.
yeah,
That's crazy.
it's crazy. So, I mean, I found one promoter down there that was doing his own independent thing, and I performed on a couple of his shows, and that was enough. I was like, okay, when I move back to Kentucky, I'm going to get back on the game and, chase it from there. So now I'm not only doing stand-up, but I'm promoting and running my own show. And I have an open mic at the same venue.
Oh.
And then me and 34 and a half are actually getting ready to launch our own podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be called Funnier in Person.
All right.
So that's what we got going on.
Hell yeah. What about the podcast? I'm very curious to learn about it.
Go ahead.
So
Well, let's get his introductions first.
Yeah.
So
Makes
tell
sense.
us a little bit about you.
I'm 34 and a half. I'm your favorite cousin from an auntie uncle you ain't know you had.
Hell yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm from
Yes,
Southside
you are.
Jamaica, Queens. And
Oh, okay.
so I moved to Kentucky because as I come in here as a party pooper, I got into the recovery business. My family was doing it. They were making a good amount of money at it. Don't kidnap
Doing what
me.
now?
They were doing recovery. They own recovery houses.
Oh.
I also do myself now too. Shout out to Recovery Strip Core Happiness. That's the name of my
Hell yeah,
company.
dude.
Okay.
Shout
RSC.
out.
Yeah, so they had their own companies going on, helping people say no to drugs.
Okay.
And I just was not making it as a comic. I've been doing comedy since 2017. I guess I didn't get invited to no Puffy parties or no Kevin Hart parties, so I never seemed to break through. I mean, comedies are really is almost.
Dude, so comedy, man, like
Comedy's
there's
wild.
people that are gonna do it for. They say 10 years before you really start to make it, but dude, there's just some people that just don't, and it takes a lot of things, and don't give up, because once you give up, that's the end of it. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
So don't give up. I mean, do you write? How often do you write?
I'm writing at least maybe 2 to 4, 3 times a week. Me and him was talking.
Oh, yeah.
I can maybe write more than that because my writing style is more conversational.
Yeah.
So what'll happen is if me and you was friends or family, I will be calling you one day, and I'll just think of something and I'll kind of like run it by you in a conversation. So you be thinking we having a conversation, but I'm really working
You're
out a
trying
bit.
shit, right?
I'm working on a bit, and then after I see, it made him giggle, it made her giggle. All right, let me see how I could even now transition that to the stage.
Okay.
And that's what now look, that's a callback, right? You said
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what it goes back to being funny in person.
How many open mics do you do a week?
Me, I was doing a lot more, but talking to a comic friend of mine who seems to have broke through, I've been focusing more on my internet presence. That's why I'm excited to be on you guys' podcast, Deliciously Nothing. I'm happy to be here with you guys, and I've been focusing more on my internet presence, but still just, like I said, writing, and even, like I said, back to that point of, that's what I've always been kind of told to by people. That's the reason.
What are you doing on the internet? Are you on YouTube?
I'm on YouTube, TikTok,
making, like,
Pornhub,
bits?
wherever they whatever let you post a video
doing
at.
Bits or?
I'm doing so I post some recovery related content, like once a day. I probably do the just for today. Yesterday I pranked my daughter. I went in her room and I flipped everything over and took her clothes out of her closet and took everything out of her drawers and connected her chargers and flipped her big mirror around.
Oh my God.
And recorded that. I'm just, it depends on what I think is funny that day. I might do a prank on my son. I might have a conversation with my son. Just follow me at 34.5. That's DIRTY, the number 4, NA half, which is one word, on anything, and you'll see what I'm thinking is funny that day. But usually I'm there to entertain. I'm not really trying to push no political views or send anybody to hell.
Keep that separate. Anyway.
Yeah, dude. Of course.
Oh, dude, I did a podcast last week, last Wednesday show, and everything went fine. And then, like, one of the guests turned out to be a Trumper, and like, it was the first Trumper that came on and admitted that they were a Trumper. So of course, I had to egg it on a little bit. I wish I didn't.
Yeah, dude, that one was something.
Did you watch it all?
I did. I did watch the whole thing. She was
It was a girl.
Oh yeah.
What is it about like conservatives that they're like really, really super crazy, but also like super hot? And I'm just like I'm across the table from her looking at her, I'm just like, God, I cannot stand the way you think, but I want to fuck you so fucking hard.
I get it. I do. Man, let me tell you something about me. When I was in high school, I used to skip high school because my best friends were a year ahead of me. Okay. And I would skip high school to go to the University of Kentucky and go to their classes with them because they were just open lectures. And I would go in, and one day I was, I'm in my late teens. I'm in my prime, I'm feeling testosterone up as hell. And then I go into these classes, and one day I decided I was going to try to count the fucking pretty girls. Dude, I went to Bryan Station High School in Central Kentucky. That is not the place you really learn to count. So instead of counting the pretty girls, I decided to count the ugly ones. Okay. I got to 6. Yeah. Kentucky's a pretty red state, too. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. I mean, these girls grow up in eastern Kentucky with their daddies who are coal miners, and you're going to have some conservative crazies coming through. So, I mean, when it comes to it, you just kind of have to understand the old saying my dad told me that don't trust nothing that bleeds for 7 days and don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, like, there is something hot about, like, a conservative that's like just super, super cute.
I mean, there's definitely some out there for sure.
Right,
well, I mean, it beats the alternative. You could be a fucking Democratic Karen.
Well, there's a lot of those.
There's a lot.
Yeah, you see a lot of those.
I would have relations with Candace Owens.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the Fox News anchors that are like super hot and super conservative.
Cheers to that, dog.
I'm just saying, I don't like her views on what happened with George Floyd.
Hey,
but-
we don't have to talk politics to fuck.
no, we don't. Listen,
We could just fuck.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We don't have to talk
Yeah,
politics.
I don't care who you're voting for. That's anonymous anyway, right? let's just go in this booth and make room use of this room. You know what I mean?
Right, that's true. Actually, I did go and vote today.
Oh, cool.
It took me 2.5 hours
Good.
Okay, good
Fucking
job.
of
Lord.
sitting at the library. Yes. But I did my duty. I had to do it, and I wanted to be a part of history. So there we go.
All right.
I would say that I'd done mine too, but I'm a felon. So
Oh shit, that
yeah,
sucks. Dude.
I fucked up.
I hate that.
I hate to sound like
procrastinate. I do my shit I'll probably do it like the day. When is it? November 2nd is the last day.
Yeah, 5th.
The 5th.
Fifth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the felon and I know when it ends.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
you
So
know,
I think it's the first Tuesday of
He's
November.
It's always the first
Yeah.
Tuesday of November. Yeah.
Okay.
And you were saying,
no, I was going to just say I don't want to sound like a terrorist, but I'm against democracy. I don't think everybody should have a right to vote. Some people are definitely too stupid to have that right. I feel like it's not just
That's fair.
it shouldn't be guaranteed. And if we are going with the majority, I don't know about you guys here in Nashville, but the majority of the people I know is stupid. So if we go with the majority, I'm always going to be messed up. We're always going to be losing because there's more stupid people than smart people. So that means that we're going with the people who are dumb and what they pick. So I just kind of try to live through it. You know what I mean?
20% of the population have an IQ of 80% or below. So you gotta think, if those are voters and they got some stupid ass idea, like the chick that was here, like she's very intelligent, but like for some reason she got some misinformation in her head that just snowballed into more bullshit, and so that's just the way she thought. But it's just like, there's a lot of people. I was watching one video, like the Daily Show, they were going around, and finding people's views. And this one dude was like, well, when Obama was in office, we had 9/11 and blah, blah, blah. Did you see that? And I'm just like, it's like, this guy actually thought that during 9/11, Obama was in office. I'm just like, this is the shit that they believe.
It's crazy.
I seen that video too. I watched the Daily.
Did you watch that?
I did. I
Yeah.
seen that one. Yeah, that was crazy.
people are stupid.
That's what I'm saying. And then we give these people a voice and a right to choose who, you know what I mean? Like, people can't even choose good baby fathers or baby mothers. Like, you know what I mean? That's you know what I mean? So how can I expect you to choose a good president or a good mayor? Like, I don't trust your
But
choice.
we were never even given a good candidate for
Right.
president. Of all the people in the world or in this United States, this is who we have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say what you want about the Clintons and everything, and sure. But I tell you what, in my history on this planet, the Clintons, man, during that time was such a great time to live. You're coming out, like, I was born in the Nixon administration, which I don't remember anything about that.
Great president.
I do remember the Carter administration, like right at the end, right before the election. So I remember Reagan and then all that bullshit. And then at that point, I was getting old enough and I was in a punk band and fuck you, Ronnie, and all this other bullshit. And then you get into Bush with the war. And then, like, all of a sudden in Clinton, there was nothing. Like, there was a little skirmish here and there. I can't, like, little places. But, like, there was no great war. The money was still good. People were able to still go on vacation and shit like that. The worst that came out of that, as far as his administration personally, is he got a fucking blowjob.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think that there should be like a treasury of blowjobs. I think
For the president.
For the
Yeah.
president.
For
I think
sure.
if you're like the leader of the free world,
Yeah.
and then like your wife is Hillary and she's not slobbing on your knob, next we need to bring the
Yeah.
treasurer of fellatio
Yeah.
in there and just like, and let it be a Monica Lewinsky. I mean, would you not fuck Monica Lewinsky?
Maybe that should be the next AVN award.
It should be, right?
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? You get these girls that are on fucking film, giving it their all, if you
Yeah.
will. I mean, whoever
but for the
whoever's
president.
voted with the best blowjob of the year gets to be the.
But just think of how well that man would think at the
Yo,
end of the
definitely,
day.
yeah.
He-
Just think
he
of the
definitely be
decision
clear-minded.
makers.
Yes.
They did a study where, like, if you went to your doctor or you went to court and your doctor or your judge was hungry, and the hungrier that motherfucker got, and the more of a bad mood, the less of like say you went to the doctor might just be.
They call it hangry.
Fuck you up. Yeah. Well, they might tell you to fuck off and then like misdiagnose you, or you might go to court and then like the judge is in a bad mood, so it gives you 5 extra years than he normally would somebody else. So he might just let you go or something like that. Yeah. Like there's like a real fucking thing that's associated with that. Much less you get anything else on top of that involved.
Yeah, we learned that in recovery. They call it a halt. It's horny, angry. What is that one? I know, yeah, it's halt, but it's like horny, angry, and hungry, and then also tired. So anytime you're in those type of situations, you don't make the best decisions based on.
And usually do it in a negative perception also.
Also, I want Monica Lewinsky to know that I would, is that the camera right there? That I would sleep with you, Monica.
Right there.
I haven't seen her in a while. I wouldn't make that statement.
I'm just gonna go with it because I feel just to
like
say I slept with.
Back in the day when she was thick and I mean she looked cute.
But she was also not to cut my bad, but she was also bad at blowjobs because she put it on her dress. You're supposed to catch that, Monica. You gotta.
Oh yeah.
Must do better.
That is a fair point.
He made it choked her. She made a little bit come up.
Hey.
So, man, the funniest thing, like I've met Tom Green a couple of times. And
I'm sorry.
Oh no, he's good.
I'm just kidding.
So both times, before on the way to the show, I had it in my mind that like if I have a chance to ask him, I want to ask him about this. And like both times I've met him, I forgot to ask, but there's one of his last specials when he was on MTV was a Monica Lewinsky special, where Tom was living in Canada, and he invited Monica Lewinsky up for some kind of secret thing, and pretty much to fuck with the paparazzi and everything. And of course, it became this big old thing. Why is Monica in Ottawa with Tom and everything? And then they tried to make people think that like maybe it was like they're there to get married and all this other shit, and everything. And they came up with this some fucking stupid idea that they were making handbags or anything. So anyway, when they first went to go pick Monica up, Tom he and her were in the backseat of the car, and they were going over to his co-host house, and someone in the car was like lighting it up, like just farting and everything, and just like gassing them out. And so they finally get to his co-host Phil's house, and like she's asking to use the bathroom, and Tom's asking, like he won't let Tom Green into his house, like I could imagine why.
Makes sense.
But then he wouldn't let Monica inside the house either because like he didn't want to open the door because he didn't want to let Tom inside the house. So then all of a sudden, Phil, the co-host, is like, oh my God, what is that fucking smell? So now someone is shitting themselves outside of the car. So it's obviously Monica because she's the one that's got to shit. So like the whole time he's like, oh my God. And so then he finally opens the door to let Monica go inside to use the bathroom. And then the whole time Phil is like, who is shitting themselves like that? Because literally, and then Tom is trying to get into the house and squeeze in. So now Phil, Monica, and Tom are now trying to squeeze in through the fucking door. Monica finally gets through, and the whole time Phil is like, what is that goddamn smell? He's thinking it was probably Tom or something, right? Yeah. But the whole time, it was obviously fucking Monica. Like, she was the one that obviously had the shit, and it was gassing people in the car. Now it's gassing people in the fucking house and shit, but... Yeah, I don't know. They never like to me as a comedian, I would have that would be the very first thing I would have went with Monica shitting herself.
Yeah, I mean, bubble guts is real.
Yeah.
What was not just I kind of think I guess can understand why you forgot the question because I still have not heard the question. What's the
Wait, what question?
There was a question?
There was a question.
I think we went straight to a story.
What's the question you want to ask Tom Green about that?
Oh, no. Was she the one that was shitting? Was she the one that was shitting?
All right.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the question I'd ask him.
No, because Tom was trying to play it off on Phil. Phil was trying to play it off on Tom. And, no one, was like, it was obvious that, the chick right there who asked the shit is obviously the one fucking.
Yeah, I'm a big Tom Green fan. I like Freddie Got Fingered. I heard that movie's supposed to be not a good movie, but to me,
I never got past him jerking off the elephant.
And you definitely would not have liked the Tom Green show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I never got past that. I was like, I can do better.
That really that movie kind of encapsulated everything that he did up to that point, and also served as the launching pad of him doing other shit and putting that behind him.
I mean, it's not that I have a problem with him doing outlandish stuff, because I love Jackass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jackass is legendary.
Is great.
But they're doing shit to themselves.
Yeah.
He's molesting a fucking elephant.
Oh, that's.
I mean, at what
Yeah, that's
point?
crazy.
You haven't seen a lot of Jackass then.
Well, I know, but
They've shoved toy cars up their asses.
right. But I
and-
mean,
yeah, but that was their ass, is what he's saying. That
yeah,
they
I
would have
mean,
put up an elephant's ass, and it's like
that's a whole nother
Hold on.
ballpark. You know, it's like
literally.
there's a
Sure.
line somewhere.
Oh, no.
There's a
There
line.
is a line. I
Tom
don't
was
know.
great because he was like the first one to do it. Like I remember sitting at the house and just literally just turning the TV on. It was already on MTV. His show is just coming on, seeing the credits and going into it. And then I'm just watching it, you know, like rolling the joint and everything. Speaking of, I'm rolling the joint and then like watching this guy, I'm like, what in the fuck is this? And then like laughing my ass off, not knowing why I'm laughing my fucking ass off, just the absurdity of it. And then when he wound up getting ball cancer and went off the air is when Jackass came on. And Jackass is what replaced Tom Green. There would not be a Jackass today if there wasn't for a Tom Green.
I mean, there is that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love Freddie
Sure.
Got Fingered. Daddy,
I
would you
bet
like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
So I like Freddie Got Fingered too. I've actually met Steve-O.
Oh,
I've seen
man.
Steve-O at Zany's. He set his hair on fire.
okay.
And did a bunch of other crazy shit, man. So I mean, I'm into that type of humor, but you really can't do that for very long as a comedian. I mean, like you see Steve-O now, and he's fucked up.
Bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Bad.
real bad. I mean, you can only do that shit for so long.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
have you seen him spit his teeth out yet? That's
Oh yeah, I have seen
I've seen
that.
videos of him with
Sure.
his
yeah.
mouth full of shit. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a little much. Oh
I
goodness.
think he spit out some teeth when he had Mike Tyson hit him in the face on that one roast. They were roasting somebody, and they had Mike Tyson hold his fucking fist out, and he ran and hit face first into Mike Tyson's fist.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mike Tyson,
Crazy.
what do you all think about this fight on the 15th where he's fighting Jake Paul?
That's not happening, is it?
It's happening.
It
It is happening
On the 15th
Oh,
of November.
jeez.
I just saw a poster at Hooters today.
So it is, because I keep seeing it go back and forth. It's not happening. It's happening.
As of today,
As of today, it's happening.
they got like advertisements for the lead up on the
That'll
network.
be interesting. to
I think
see.
fucking Jake Paul needs a life insurance policy. This motherfucker is taking it for real.
So
Oh,
I
yes.
feel about it the same way that I felt when I was a kid, and then you had dudes that were wanting to take on George Foreman. Because the way I look at Mike Tyson as being that old boxer, like when I was a kid, I was in high school, and it was like old George Foreman coming out of retirement to fucking fight somebody. I look at it that same way. It's like, hey, I wouldn't have never fucked with George Foreman in his prime, much less as an old man.
Yeah.
Much less I would have never fucked with Mike Tyson in his prime, and I would never fuck with Mike Tyson now. Whether I was an established boxer, because here's the thing about fucking Paul, he's fucking an established boxer.
Yeah.
He's not just a YouTuber. He started out as a YouTuber. Everybody gets their start from somewhere.
I agree. I think he's earned his stripes as a boxer.
Yeah.
But who has he fought?
Right. Well, this is
Nobody to the quality of a aged Mike Tyson.
If
That's
he
true.
wins against Mike Tyson, okay, you beat up an old man,
Right.
right? If he fucking loses to Mike Tyson, well, we kind of all expected that. So I don't see anything
True.
coming out of that.
Well, what if he dies?
Mike Tyson?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
Fucking
Jake
Jake
Paul.
Paul.
well then that would only go to the legacy of Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
and-
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
and it's also going to
you
be
just-
like
yeah,
a
but is
testament to
the-
children.
Is
you
the
know,
boxing ring the same as the UFC ring though?
no,
There's no
UFC's an
laws?
octagon. Boxing's just a
Yeah.
square.
Yeah.
They call it the squared circle.
That was a
I
wrestling
see.
thing.
Yeah, that's a wrestling term, but
Square circle.
it's a square.
I feel like it's about money, and I don't think they're really gonna. Is that Monica now?
Oh
I
shit!
told you I was still
Interesting.
smacking. I was still smacker.
So
There you go.
how does she look better now than she did back then? Look at that.
Because
She's
she made money
crazy.
off of her name.
Wow.
Look at that. She
No,
looks better.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I mean,
Money.
Jenny Craig's a hell of a thing.
I guess. Thank you, Grandma. Grandma sent this in, but God damn it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like she
thank
looks
you,
so
Grandma.
much better now.
I'm happy I said what I said. See, I was on
She's
you.
a fucking
That's
smoke show.
crazy.
I was on you before they seen you, Monica. You my heart.
I'm gonna grab another drink. Does anyone need anything?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm still drinking my own
You
Coke.
do?
A Coke, please.
Hell yeah.
I'm fat, diabetic, and thirsty.
Yeah, I just think it's just the idea where it's just for the money. It's not really like a real thing. They're not really trying to kill each other or beat each other up bad enough for anybody to get hurt.
No, Mike Tyson takes every fight seriously. Once Mike Tyson gets it, doesn't matter if he was fucking with you before. Mike is nuts, and Mike has said it before. He's nuts. That's why he's gotten in trouble before in the domestic shit.
Yep.
Like when
Robin
that,
Givens.
when that trigger gets triggered, you're not dealing with Mike Tyson.
No,
anymore.
you're dealing with an animal.
You're dealing with Iron Mike.
Yeah.
And Iron Mike and Mike Tyson are two fucking different people.
Agreed.
Like I wasn't really big into like boxing and stuff, but then like I remember seeing the first Mike Tyson pay-per-view that we had in like, you know, the late 80s. It was like what, 87 or something like that.
Something like that.
And then it was like I was hooked. It was like holy
The hype was so big in the 80s.
Yeah, well-
Imagine what it would be like today with social media.
the thing about the Tyson fights is they were over so quickly.
Yeah.
So quickly.
You spent $39.99 in freaking 1987 to watch a Mike Tyson fight that lasted 45 seconds. And then you get an hour and a half of the commentary after the fact of the analysis of the 39 seconds.
Well, you also get the other bouts that they had too.
Well, yeah.
The
thank you, sir.
last Mike Tyson one was the Holyfield one with the ear. That was the last one.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, what was that? Early 90s, 90.
Late 90s, I think.
Was it late 90s?
I think.
Yeah, man. That was like when I was done. I was done with pay-per-view. I was like, that used to be a thing back in the day. People would get together. Everybody would throw in, you know, I got $5 on it. Throw fucking
Yep.
$5 on it. Everyone get together, watch the fucking fight, because you knew it was gonna be over in a fucking minute anyway.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
In New York, we had the shout out. I'm 40 years old. I'll be 41 in December. We had the Zap
Really?
boxes. Yeah, we had in Queens, New York. We had the Zap boxes. So you would take your cable box to some guy.
Yeah, get fixed.
And he was just like, I don't know. He wouldn't even make that noise, but they called it getting it zapped. So everybody had free cable.
Yeah.
So I was watching Spice and Playboy very early.
You could have
Hell
done
yeah.
that here for a time at one point. But then, the signal changed, and you had to. You could.
That's why you had to know a cable man.
Well,
Then they had a whole nother thing too. You can connect. It was a whole. It was there was always probably now there's no free. But when I was a kid, it was always a scam to get you some free cable. Hopefully I don't go to jail for this. I hope the statute of limitations.
Right.
I think it's passed.
They come and get me.
I've always heard about those, but I've never.
How old are
done
you?
That I'm 31.
So you're like the baby at the
So-
table.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't look a day over 30. You're doing your thing, my guy.
Good for
Thank
you.
you, dude. Hey, 2
should've
years
seen him 2
sobriety
years
from
ago.
alcohol, dude,
should've seen him
does
2
a
years
lot.
ago.
Good for you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm almost at 1,000 days soon.
Okay,
But
keep going, man.
yeah, dude, I'm fun. I am pumped about
Do you
it.
go to?
really.
Do you mind if I ask if you go to meetings or do you?
I do go to meetings
Okay.
sometimes, not very regularly.
I go to meetings. I'm part of a fellowship. Yes, I.
Hell yeah,
Yeah, so
dude.
I go to meetings.
I love that.
I did
Yeah.
go to a 12-step for a year, but I mean it wasn't for like anything. Like I really felt bad being there because like I was court ordered to go, you know, because I was trying to get custody of my daughter who got taken away from her mother. Her mother saw that I was picking her up, and like a cunt was like, "Oh, well, he smokes weed," and like, "Damn, bitch, you want your fucking daughter to stay in foster care? What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
So then I had to go and do the 12-step and get drug tests and all this other stuff. So for a year, I did the 12-step, and I really felt being bad because there was people that were in there like with some serious shit. People in there, mostly for opioids. You know,
Yeah,
people in there
definitely.
like they started off with like back pain or something like that, and then wind up getting hooked. But I just really felt bad because like I'm in there for it was like that scene in Half Baked, you know, where
that's my life
Dave
story.
Chappelle, it's just.
So what got you two into comedy?
He's a comedian.
Yes.
Well, you were talking about comedy. I just assumed.
I'm getting into comedy. I started out in comedy as a kid, but the faster route to do anything creative, especially back in the late '80s, was music. So then I wound up getting into music. But I had a comedy troupe. We were called the Bohemians, and we did all kinds of shit like fucking pranks and stuff like that. So it was like it was an improv group. We would do these like fake fights in public and stuff like that with blood capsules. And
We were just talking about shit like this in the car on the way here.
yeah. There used to be a lot of malls back here. So what we would do is like we would like go to a mall and start filming. We would go to like a Walgreens and buy like a big thing of dish soap, dump it into the fountains, do all kinds of crazy shit as we go around the mall. By the time we get around to the one same place again in the mall, the fountain would be overflowed with all this fucking suds and shit.
Could you imagine doing that with one of those bird scooters? Like
What?
dump the soap in the fountain and then take off on a bird scooter.
Oh, well, yeah.
That would be one of the funniest things I'd ever seen.
That's fair. That
There
would be
used
pretty
to
great.
be pay phones, and
I remember those.
What?
Dinosaurs.
What is that? What does it pay for
Payphone?
for a millennial?
Yeah. So if you Gen Z even, so like there used to be banks. There used to be phone banks. So it'd be like a
wall of phones.
A wall of like almost like it'd be like a urinals, but there wasn't urinals. It was a payphone, and so like there was this hack that if you looked at the number that was on the payphone and typed in, I think it was like 920 or something like that at the time, and then the last 4 digits of the phone, and then hang the phone up, the phone would ring back and just ring and ring and ring until you pick it up. And so if there was like a phone bank where there's like 8 to 10 of these motherfuckers, we'd go through and have them all ringing. So we would go into a mall, dump the suds into a fountain, and then go around the entire mall and having every fucking phone fucking ringing. So by the time we get to the front of the mall again, it's just chaos just from that. And not counting all of the other bullshit we may have done on top of that. But like, and we were filming everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
It wasn't like with a phone though. Now they had these fucking cameras
With the VCR tapes.
This was worse. So I couldn't get my mom to buy me one of those. And then I wound up going to Toys R Us to buy something for a friend. And Fisher Price had put out this thing called the PXL 2000. And it was a handheld. By this time, like, handhelds were like $5,000. They were just coming out, like, brand new. But Fisher Price had a handheld. It was all one-piece plastic. It ran on audio cassettes, not like regular cassettes for video, but audio cassettes, like, you know, like you get Iron Maiden on. And then it was low resolution and black and white. But the fucking thing great about it was a handycam in an age where, you know, handycams were just coming out. And dude, we fucking ran amok. Yeah, it was, man, we did some really great stuff. But then again, you really couldn't do anything. Zanies was just built. Zanies, I think, was built in 84, 85. You know, I was a
84.
kid, 84. So there wasn't any place for me to do comedy. There wasn't any place other than public access to put my stuff. That's how Tom Green got started, was public access. But, you know, everybody that I ever knew that had a band or something like, hey, watch my stuff on pub. Did you watch it now? So I wound up playing music, and that wound up becoming a really great venue for creativity, and especially, you know, it was something that I got really passionate about fucking playing music.
Well, me too. I was a music education major in college.
Oh, right on.
Sick.
So, I mean, I was great. I was doing everything fine until I got to the education part of my degree, and they put me in a classroom with some 7-year-olds. I'm not 7-year-olds, 7th graders. Pardon me. So anyway, I'm in there and I'm doing my observations and shit, and I realized how handcuffed teachers were. And this was in 2002. I'm realizing how handcuffed teachers were, and that I was probably going to go to prison for choking somebody else's kid. So I changed majors real quick, and then I just dropped out of fucking school. And then I ended up driving a cab in Lexington and got stabbed 11 times.
Jesus.
At the same time, or
Yes.
just 11 separate times?
So there's the first one.
Oh, fuck.
Oh man.
What did you say to this person?
Oh, well, no, he got out of the car and he didn't pay me, and I rolled down the window and asked for payment. So
And then he just turned and started stabbing?
he said he needed change for $100, and I had on cargo shorts like I do tonight, and went to go get my money out of my bottom pocket, and I go take the rubber band off because I was working out of a strip club too. So the strippers
You got
taught me to fold my
robbed.
money. Well, he
Wow.
reached in to try to grab the money, and I threw it in the passenger side floorboard, and he couldn't get it.
Sure.
But he stabbed me 11 times, and what he didn't remember was there was a cop with his parking lights on 2 houses down. And I threw the car in reverse and blew the horn and yelled for help, and he took off running. But, you know,
Did they get him?
they got him in 5 minutes. I mean, you can look him up on Google, Jason K. Oliver. He got 35 years. He got 20 for assault, 1 with a deadly weapon, 15 for robbery, 1 with a deadly weapon, and then he got 2 more tacked on while he was in jail for promoting contraband. He's got to serve a minimum of 20 before he gets his first chance at parole.
What's promoting contraband?
That would be smuggling drugs in the place, making hooch, whatever in jail.
I see.
So,
Alright.
and he got caught.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so the comedy club in Lexington actually threw a benefit for me.
Wow.
So I was friends because before I was a taxi driver, I worked at Papa John's, and I was an assistant GM. And one of my drivers was a touring comic. His name's Ross Duncliffe.
Okay.
So Ross now owns On Tour Records, and he had just signed, I can't remember the Dan something, and Tim Northern to his label.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim and Dan came and co-headlined my benefit at Comedy Off Broadway.
Wow.
Well, they gave me the majority of the proceeds from the ticket sales. We were allowed to do a raffle, and that helped me pay my bills for a couple of months. But at the end of the
Holy
show,
shit.
Ross had wanted me to go on stage and thank everybody for coming after I got out of the hospital. Well, I had PTSD. I couldn't do that. So if I walked up there and got on the stage at Comedy Off Broadway, there's nothing but a brick wall, and you can't see the exits. All you got's people in front of you and lights. I knew that. I couldn't do that. So I agreed to stand. Oh, shit, sorry.
nothing
I
in there.
agreed to stand in the hallway and shake everybody's hands on their way out. And Ross said, well, you know what, Andy? If you ever decide you want to do this, get a hold of me, you know, because you've always been funny. Well, yes, and I'm putting that on you, Ross. Anyway, so I was in a Walmart just a couple months later, and I was waiting to get my pills, and I was surrounded by like 40 people in the pharmacy at Walmart, just waiting in line and stuff, and I'm getting nervous and sweating. I end up having a panic attack. So I run out to my car and I hyperventilated for like 20 minutes. And then once I finally finished that, I made the decision I wasn't going to live my life in fear anymore. And I took Ross's advice and I contacted the club and I found out about how to start doing comedy. So I wrote my first 3 minutes and did an open mic, and half the room stood up for me at the end of my first show.
Nice.
And that was 12 years ago in April. So I'm now where I'm at now and trying to move on up. I'm making like George and Wheezy.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, I mean, that's how I got here. And you've got a pretty...
I used to be a rapper too. I still got the chain.
Hell yeah.
I was trying to do music. I loved music growing up. My Adidas, Aerosmith, Run DMC. If you Nirvana, Queen, when you said Bohemian, you know, I thought about the Rhapsody instantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was a big music lover and just could rhyme words pretty good at that, freestyling and making up songs. So I have been doing. That was my dream growing up. I was gonna be a rapping porn star wrestler. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
In any type of
Yeah.
order. That's what
Just
I thought.
a triple threat.
Yeah, I was a
No
Renaissance.
particular order.
A Renaissance man.
Yeah, Renaissance.
Real
man.
Renaissance man. In
A
2000
renegade
and,
man.
yeah, right. In 2010,
Yeah.
I caught my case for selling substances, which is illegal, and I would advise everybody to stop doing it as much as you can if you are doing it right now, because
Yes.
you can go to jail. They will put you in prison for it. Right? They put me in prison.
What are you doing?
I was selling opioids.
Oh, okay.
I was also selling the cocoa too. You know what I mean? I was always trying to.
Peruvian marching powder.
A little bit.
Little
What they call it, snow candy.
Yeah.
I was doing both. You know, I had two hands, so I was trying to make two sources of income, but they caught me on the sales of the opioids.
Yeah.
And they gave me 2.5 years or 3 years post. I just messed up that post. Like I did the early thing. I went to prison on the early thing. They did a thing called Shock in New York, where you could turn 6 years into, 4 years into 6 months. You got to pretend like you're in the army though. You got to march around and all of that, and get your hair cut and do push-ups. Yeah, it's called Shock.
Wow.
So I did that program. I got out after like a year of getting arrested. I went 2010, got out 2011. But when I came home, I was just telling my cousin this story the other day. So I came home and I didn't snitch on my plug, right? So I come home, and he just brought me a bunch of drugs, like to sell.
Snitch on your what?
My plug, the person I was,
yeah.
my connect.
Oh, your
Yeah,
dealer.
you-
Yeah,
dude.
well, my connect. I was a dealer, but I had a person who, unless you're like
course.
Pablo Escobar, everybody has a person they have to get it from, and they get it for that price, and then they sell it to you for that price, unless they're growing it themselves. They have to, it's called a connect or whatever. So my connect came to me, so happy that I didn't tell him. He just gave me a bunch of drugs when I come home. Like, here, sell this stuff. I'm nervous. I just got home. Like,
Oh, he didn't give it to
Yeah.
you for you to have. He gave it
Shit,
to
he
you to
was trying to
sell.
get-
yeah, but like as he's putting me back on though, like it was like he was showing me love. Like, here, man, get here, get you and put you on. So I was so nervous. I didn't want to move that stuff at all because I didn't know who had gave me the
But
charges.
he was showing you that he had trust in you.
Yeah, he knew because I didn't say nothing on him. You know what I mean? But still, I didn't know what to do, how to make money. So, Backpage was
Were you selling for him exclusively?
before I got locked up. Yeah.
Okay.
So Backpage was still up, and I decided to get into massage management to manage a couple of masseuses.
Okay.
So you were a pimp.
I like to say massage management, especially after the P Diddy thing came up.
Ah,
I was-
still
Oh
called a
damn.
pimp.
I never slapped no bitches.
Still called a pimp.
Fair.
So I was doing my massage management thing, making money like that. But I was on the run from that case still, from the selling of the opioids. So I ended up doing 3 violations because I was always traveling. They kept calling me absconding. That's when you leave where you're supposed to be at, which is so crazy. The system is crazy. The fact that you can go back to prison or jail for something that is essentially not even a crime and do time in prison for that and think about that taxpayer money being spent because somebody came in after 10 o'clock, that's crazy. That's, to me, I'm just like, my bad, I just have to say that because that's like
The
real to me.
curfew and everything.
When you think about that, somebody you're paying for people to be in prison. And instead of a person who murdered somebody or did some other type of thing that you would want them in prison for, you got a guy who made it home at 10:30
Yeah.
who's sitting in prison. It's weird.
Absolutely crazy.
When you
It
think
doesn't
of-
make any sense.
So I had kept absconding. I was doing more than coming home at 10:30. I was in a whole nother state when they found me. They had to bring me back on the plane one time. But yeah, so
Really?
yeah, I did. I went to North Carolina and got caught out there, and I'm from New York, so they brought me back on the plane. I was handcuffed with like a jacket on, and nobody could tell, kind of fake. You couldn't even see it because like my arms was in my pocket, but I was with the marshals.
And they had to like drop you off at every stop and
No, they just went one plane
one plane.
from
Oh, shit.
Charlotte to New York, and I was in New
Hell
York.
yeah.
And they just, I'm on the plane like this. So if it would have crashed, I would have, would have been over for me. Not that I could swim anyway. Like if it would have went in the ocean, I don't know.
Oh my God.
I can't.
So stereotypical.
But yeah, just kidding. I can swim like in a pool. I'm
can't swim.
Ocean swimming is different. Like I don't care what anybody that thinks they can ocean swim is really overselling. You're like
Yeah, dude, that's
I get what you're
that's
saying.
Some
It's
people
just-
have like a phobia.
It hit
of
me
the
right there. I was
ocean.
like,
I'm okay to swim in it. I feel a little more iffy about being in the open water.
the middle of the ocean swimming though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can swim by the that's different, right?
You're fucked if you're in the ocean, like
right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, not even that.
That's
but even
some
like,
big fish.
Not even just like, so as a kid, so this is my last memory of New York when I was living in Long Island before we came here to Nashville.
Ooh.
Yeah, that, believe me, no. We were on that side of Long Island. The opposite of Queens.
They're right there. Though. You can walk to Long Island from Queens. You can it's like a street, and you go. I'm in Long Island now.
So, we were on the beach. My mom took me and my brother, and we went to the beach with some of our neighbors and everything, just going to hang out for the day. And we were there on the beach for a while, and then we saw this guy who was probably about 200-300 feet down the beach, and he had a one of those like white 5-gallon pails beside him, and he's casting a line out into the water and everything. And so us being curious kids, we went down there to see what he was fishing out of the water, because I've never seen anyone. We've seen the fisheries.
Yeah.
And that's, believe me, I still don't eat fish to this day because of the shit that I've seen in those fisheries. To this day, I don't eat fish because of it.
Mm-hmm.
We got head on down to this dude and everything, and then we looked down in his container there full of water, and there's this tornado of baby sharks because they're just swimming in this pail. Just baby sharks just swimming in this pail. There's just this vortex of sharks, and he pulls another one out of the water, takes it off with a fucking hook, pops it in, adds it to the collection of rotating sharks, and we're like, holy fuck, there's baby sharks there. There's a mama shark out there. Yeah, and like the whole time living in New York, like, I was 7 when we moved, but the entire time of going to the beach every year, you know, I saw Jaws as a kid, and like it's a movie. I didn't think, you know, there could really be like a big fucking shark out there. All the time going out to the fucking beach. This last day, fucking, you know, before we were moving to fucking Nashville, we went out there, and this dude is fishing fucking sharks out of the fucking water, and we're like, holy fucking shit. Yeah, that's some scary shit, man.
It reminds me of Phantom Menace, the Star Wars Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always used to love swimming. I mean, I love swimming, but I used to love swimming in like an ocean. But then we would go to Florida on vacation, like with my first wife, every year. And then every time we would go out there, they would have all these like warnings and stuff, like stingray warnings and jellyfish warnings. Mm-hmm. There was one time we went out from the hotel, went onto the beach, and you could just lining all the way as far as you can see, all the way down the fucking shore of just globs of jellyfish. And you step on one of those motherfuckers, and you are done.
Do you have to urinate on it? Is that
so I don't know if that's true, but I have heard that you have to have someone piss on it.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm good.
all my friends are pee shy. I'm fucked if I fucking.
Oh yeah.
I will pee on somebody
You
if
pee
they
on
need
somebody?
me to.
All right, R.
I'll do
Kelly,
it.
be careful.
I'm just trying to
I'll
help.
do it.
That's what friends are for.
Like,
Either of you guys got kids?
No, I do not have kids.
Oh, good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 3, and all 3 of them, unfortunately, are geniuses.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
my 10-year-old is interacting with Neil deGrasse Tyson on the fucking internet.
Oh, wow.
Good job.
Yeah,
Crazy.
he's pretty fucking smart.
That's
He's
awesome. I watch Neil on
all right. So
YouTube all the
he
time.
he does Star
Oh,
Talk.
yeah.
My son watched an episode of Star Talk back in July, and they had a Q&A afterwards, and the question was simply, what did you all think of this week's episode? My then 9-year-old son looks at it and feels the necessity to type, "It's fucking awesome," and they pin it to the top of the page.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, my 9-year-old is watching Star Talk, doing algebra in the car. I taught him how to do basic algebra in the car with no visual aids. I taught him how to do squares and square roots while we were waiting in line to turn in his paperwork for 3rd grade. Yeah,
Jeez.
just standing in line. And
Genius.
it's
Neutron.
wonderful. He's reading and doing math on an 8th grade level at 10 years old. And the county I live in will not let him skip grades.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
My
bummer.
25-year-old is in Japan right now.
Oh, you said jail. I was like,
No, I had to stop myself.
they all
because-
can't be winners.
Japan.
No, no. If there's anybody that's going to jail, it's the middle one. But the oldest one is in Japan right now, and he is teaching Japanese, or no, he's teaching English to Japanese kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's his job.
That's sick.
And he took that job for one reason and one reason only. Nothing to do with his love of teaching. He wants to marry a Japanese woman.
Oh.
That's his whole goal.
Nice.
Go over there, get a woman, have a family.
That's genius.
Oh, that's cute.
He's fucking genius.
That is genius.
Is what
White
it is.
dudes have been doing that for the last 2,000 years.
Well,
yeah, I know.
I don't know what it is about a white dude with Asian chicks.
Oh my God, dude!
Yeah.
Don't even get me
Is it-
started.
I guess it's the same thing with like black dudes and white girls. I don't know. It's the same thing, right?
Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
Um,
Has a little darker
That is
history.
fair.
but the middle one is actually going into the Marines in the next couple months. He's
Okay.
going to be in the Marine Reserves. So,
job.
Very
and
cool.
he is the most practical of the three. So, like, he's level-headed. He's not overly smart, but he's not dumb. And he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders. So I'm really proud of him. So, and plus he made the decision to go defend our country, and I'm pretty happy
Of
with that.
course.
I'm
Of
happy
course.
about that too.
Respect to that.
But yeah, that's my three kids. I know he's got a couple.
I want to give a shout out to my youngest son, Trenton. Man. He just got an A. He got 1 A.
Hell yeah.
And I owe him $100 for that A. So if you you can comment section if you need to get my Chime or Apple Pay to help me pay my son $100 because it takes
Someone get Dirty4's Venmo.
it takes a village to raise a kid. Nah, I told my son I was gonna give him 100 for every A he got, and James seen him like he ran down on me. He called me on the FaceTime. Hey, Dad,
Yeah.
guess what? Got that that you about to owe me $100. I'm like what? I forgot how many I'm like what? How many A's you got? But I told him for every A he gets 100, so I'm happy about him. My oldest son is 23. He lives in Utah. He met a girl on Fortnite, and he ended up dating her.
What the
Like the
fuck?
video game?
I didn't even know that.
I died too quick. I don't know how he met a girl on a game like that. Because to me, as soon as I get in there, I'm getting like somebody saying, "Haha, I got you." As soon as the game loads, so like I don't even get like
He's playing some squads.
I barely land. Like I can't even land, and he just like he met a whole girl that moved to Utah and got with her. My second oldest is 21. He still lives in New York. I have a daughter who's 18. That's the one I just ruined her room yesterday. So
Very
those
great.
are my 4 times I had sex, I guess, in life.
Nice, dude.
or that it counted.
that it
That
yeah.
accounted
Any
for
other time was
something.
just practicing. That is so weird. Like I used to always like ejaculate in every girl I ever had sex with, and then like
Wow.
I didn't. I just thought it was.
That
Thought it was cool.
dangerous, buddy.
Yeah, it was cool. But nobody got pregnant except for these 2 girls to the point where I was like kind of like ready to go to Maury. You know what I mean? But like the kids looked at me and looked like me and stuff. So I said I don't really want to go out there and call them ugly on Maury, and then it actually be mine.
Yeah, and they only pay $600.
Yeah, I mean $600 is a lot of money to call your kid.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I call
especially
my
if you're
kids
going on
ugly.
more. If you've seen those people,
Is it per
$600.
kid? Is it per kid?
No, that is $600 per person.
Oh, so I'm gonna go once each. I got 4 kids, so that's what that's
well, there you go.
$2,400 right there.
You over here making plans?
They still do that?
No, Maury's like 83.
He's so cool. I used to cut school and go to Maury. He was in New York. I used to
Really
cut
that
school and
old?
go.
Yeah, he's
That's
married to
insane.
Connie Chung.
They gave you free pizza.
Huh.
Connie Chung, who used to be a news anchor on CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the 80s, he's married to her.
Call back, white guy getting an Asian girl again.
Yep, there's another one.
That's the only reason why he has that show. Just to
It's very funny. And soon my Asian girlfriend will be here.
Are you serious?
Oh, you're
Oh
killing
my
it.
God.
No joke. Yeah.
You know, I always say instead of saying eating, can I say, but what's
Say
it?
anything.
Oh yeah, so instead of saying I'm eating pussy, I always say I'm eating Chinese food because it's like cat. You know, they would say I cat in Chinese food. So, but you're literally eating.
I say I eat Chinese food all the time.
Ain't nobody from Springfield, Ohio here.
Yeah.
Oh, they eating the cats, they eating the dogs. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah. If your cat or dog gets eaten, I just want to say this. I know this is not, but if your cat or dogs get eaten, you deserve it. Like watch your pets. Where you at?
Why you letting them out?
That's true. That's very true.
I
Like, take
think
care
they
of your
said
animal,
that
too.
to set Donald Trump up to make him say that, because I think he went with it, and they think they knew he was. I think that's what it is now. They're trying to set things up for him to go with, because he is saying some off the wall fucking shit.
Well, I mean, have you seen Biden lately?
No, but Biden's,
Exactly my point.
Biden's done.
Oh, no, we know.
Yeah, he's done.
He's
You
ate
know,
up with
he
dementia.
retired peacefully.
Yeah, I
dude.
mean, I'm glad that he decided to bow out, because he could have been stubborn and been like, no, fuck it, and then we would have been really fucked.
Yep.
Mhm.
we would have probably had Kamala anyway, because I mean, if he left for dementia, she would have to step up.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't even be an election process thing anyway. She would
like
still.
people was trying to say.
Yeah. So I mean, it still would happen. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens. But what scares me isn't Trump or Kamala or anything.
They're just one person.
Well, they're also temporary employees, so everyone has to realize that they're temporary employees. If you really want to talk about the government, then we could talk about the real government and not this dog and pony show that everybody is all hyped up about and dividing the country about. Let's not even talk about that, because that right there is just secondary, right?
Right.
And besides, there's this thing called electoral college anyway that doesn't matter what the fuck you vote for. Please vote, but it doesn't matter what the fuck you vote for, because in the end, someone's going to hit the fucking switch of who they want to be in there.
Well, somebody vote twice for me, please.
There we go.
So Elon Musk next year is launching
That's a callback.
the 2025 launch of the Optimus robot, which if anybody has seen iRobot, these things look exactly like the things in the Will Smith movie.
Yeah,
Oh shit! No, really.
And they're being launched next year. They have a price tag of $20,000.
It's not bad.
So okay. So for $20,000 you could buy this robot. So, but this is the question that
Does it vacuum the floor?
What are we buying? Are we buying? Are we buying butlers? Are we buying nannies? Or are we buying our replacement for the job force? Say that you don't have $20,000 and you can't afford to put your replacement in to go to work. So now you got to go to work, and it's you and 30 fucking other robots. And everybody else is at home chilling out while their robot is out doing all the work. But then your robot, or God forbid, your robot breaks down, and then like your robot can't work that day. Now you got to go stand in for your robot. You got to go do what your robot's doing. And so, I mean, what are we really doing with these robots? Are we just buying butlers? Everyone's just going to have a fucking butler? Do you need a fucking butler? What is the real issue? Why do we need a $20,000 robot? Why would I have one in my house? There's no fucking reason for me to have. Am I going to program them to do sound now? So I'm just going to have a $20,000 sound man? What am I doing? No. There's going to be a reason why these things are in our house.
I hope mine's female and got a kung fu grip.
They have those.
Nice.
They have those.
There you go.
They
Specifically, a female robot with a kung fu
a kung fu grip.
that.
I don't really want one at all.
I was kidding.
What you just said, really, I'm laughing at play your move. I should have go scrape my brain off the wall. It blew my mind because the idea of I didn't even think about that. Like $20,000, I could be at two different jobs. I could be like Fred Flintstone now. I could be working at two different places, making money from both those places because I just invested $20,000 into these robots. Now I'm just getting these checks, making my money back, and I get another robot. Now I got 3 jobs. This is like crazy. That is awesome. I wouldn't even have it at my house. You're right. I would have it doing overtime at Amazon.
Right. I mean, but why would you have a robot? I mean, if it's not for your butler or for your stand-in at work, I mean, why would you have why would there be an assembly line of robots? They did this party where it was supposed to be some Tesla thing for one of their vehicles. Like they have these new vehicles that come out. When these vehicles do look like the things off of fucking like
Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the surprise of the event is all of the staff that evening were all the robots. They're all the DJs, the bartenders, everybody that was working the event were there was no human employees. They were all the robots.
Oh, that reminds me, Daft Punk's coming to Lexington.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Daft Punk.
You were talking about robots and DJs, and all of a sudden,
I'm like, hold on, wait,
yeah, Daft Punk's coming. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
That
Get
is so
tickets.
cool,
Go
like-
see Daft Punk.
There's a
Do
question.
mushrooms and do that.
There's a question that we've been asking on this show. Would you rather have the zombie apocalypse or the robot apocalypse?
Oh, I like
A
that.
lot
How do
of
you feel
people
about
answer robot. All right, so what would you answer? Robot apocalypse or zombie apocalypse? What would you rather be in?
Give me a second.
What would you rather be in?
I'm gonna go for the zombie
Okay.
because they seem pretty easy to kill. I'm a bitch, so I don't think I could really beat up a Terminator robot or something like that. Like they would hit hard. I feel like it'd be easy.
Weaponry.
Right,
They would have sensory.
Yeah, I think
like
that
they could probably see
like,
your heat signatures. They also, these new robots that are coming out, they have 360 degrees detection. So you can't even sneak up on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would go
and
with
if you
zombie.
could, to kick them, they're showing where you could, if you could, like sneak up on it and kick them. They right themselves, like they go forward, but then they right themselves, and then like turn around on you.
Yeah, I seen a robot dog they had that was like that too. Like they was.
That's
like,
what that's
they trying to kick the
all right,
robot
zombie
dog.
robots
Dog.
are
Zombies, hands down. I'd channel my inner Woody Harrelson and just go absolute ham on them.
so it's not.
I would
even-
love to do
I would
that.
I would
for
take
sure.
advantage of the
It'd be
right
fun.
to go ahead and get a firearm since I can't now, and go absolutely ham on some zombies.
And that'd be BS if even after the zombie apocalypse they saying felonies can't get a gun.
That's bullshit.
I like The
What's
Walking
going on,
Dead.
bro?
Let's
What's going
fucking
on?
go. I play
So
Left
there's
4 Dead.
drones. Drones are a big thing because
yeah.
right now they don't even
Well,
need
sentient
people.
robots is my big thing. The ones that can think for themselves
You're gonna have that.
and completely communicate with each other.
You're gonna have
Sentience is the problem.
Do you remember Furbies?
Oh yes, fucking Furbies.
So right now we're going to be having these things that are in our house. They're going to be humanoid. They're going to be able to learn new things constantly. They're always going to be upgrading. But it's like, but they have this thing that is about the size of this right here called a killbot, shaped this square like this. And basically it's got like a turret that comes out like this. And they have this thing, they have it, first of all, they have it chained. Each side of it is chained because it flies. It's a drone. Okay. So they have it chained so it can't get away. And then one, like a monster, it's chained, but it has 4 chains, one on each side, chaining it down. And then it also has this like chain link fence. Also as like another measure of it not being able to get away. So they have it chained up like a fucking monster. They call this thing the Killbot. When they let this thing go, first of all, they can fly it anywhere, that they want to within range. And then it shoots 360 degrees. So it shoots fucking up, down, left, and right, fucking just anywhere. I don't know where it keeps all the munitions in it. But once they power it up, it kind of flies off, and then like, well, this is what it could do, and they hit that thing, man, and it just fires just anything that would be around this fucking thing is just shredded, and all they have to do is just float this little thing into the room. You look over, it's like, well, what is that? And then you are done. You are dead. Everything in the motherfucking room is completely fucking obliterated.
Could you imagine if they attached one of those to a freaking F-22 Raptor? You
Rapper?
know what? The Raptor, that's the world's only 5th gen true fighter plane.
Oh, I used to want a dinosaur.
This is the plane that took on a full squadron of F-18s, which is what the Blue Angels fly. Okay.
Oh wow.
So it was a elite group of F-18 pilots, 16 of them, full squadron. One F-22 shot all 16 down in a simulated thing.
Oh, simulated.
Wow.
Yes, but I mean, just based on its own abilities, because this thing can turn around on a dime in mid-air. Yeah. They're nasty, and they're fast as fuck. So, I mean, could you imagine them putting one of those drones on that thing? I mean...
Or actual raptor, too. I'm still thinking about that in my mind. Like a dinosaur
like
running
a
around.
dinosaur.
First, I was thinking of the truck.
Right.
Well, I thought you said rapper like.
No, I got a fat tongue.
Well, here's the thing.
And I never have complaints from women, but, you know.
There you go. Good.
There's going to be a
Always.
time where you don't even need a plane anymore.
Right.
Like, all you got to do is just have, like, every place is going to have their little station of drones that are just going to pop up and then do their thing like bees.
Well, Israel's already got their Iron Dome.
Well, they've had that, but we were supposed to have that here, which was the Star Wars project.
Right.
We didn't do it. They did it. So what you're seeing, the Iron Dome is nothing new. It's the Star Wars project that we abandoned. Well, there's a lot of things that wound up getting abandoned, which is the reason why we have a lot of the problems that we have now.
But we keep selling all that shit to Ukraine, so it's okay.
Only if
All right, you know what's crazy is the pager bombs.
Uh-huh.
Like, That blew my fucking mind. I was like, wait a minute. So, like, did they make these pagers and put explosives in these pagers? And then did they know who they were selling the pagers to? Or they were just taking a wild guess and was just selling them? It's like, well, maybe 80% of the people are going to be bad, and the other 20%, well, they're just not going to have cocks anymore. Because that's essentially what happens. Like, have you seen the video? Like, people just standing around, and all of a sudden, their midsections just go foosh, and then they hit the ground, and they're like, they have no dick. Like, their dick is just foosh. Yeah, man, it's insane.
This is old school. This is recently people with pagers. Recently, somebody had a pager, or
Well, so they can't. So over there, they can't use cell phones and stuff like that. So they went back old school. So now they're using pagers.
This was a whole setup from the beginning. We're gonna get you back on pagers, and guess what? We got pager bombs.
Motorola's back in business.
But what scares me is, like, is this something that they stuck in there and then sold specifically to them? Or is this something that they were able to hack the technology
to make it blow up?
They had to hack
Now you
it.
got to have some type of. I don't think you could just make it. How many? Like, what do you just send a bunch of pages?
The freaking chips that go in those things they've gone from being that big with a card in it, and a motherboard basically in a pager that goes to a little digital 9-digit screen or whatever, to those components that are on that motherboard are microscopic now, so they can include whatever they want in that case. They could potentially just set up you get a ring, you get a piece of C4 blowing your innards out. So, I mean, it could be anything like that. I mean, they could.
A lot of people get afraid of getting caps put in. They rather have the tooth pulled because they're afraid that the cap actually will have like a chip in it that will actually pick up.
I can verify that is not the case. I legitimately went to the dentist 2 weeks ago. I got my temporary crown, and the motherfucker kept falling off.
Oh, wow.
And it is just a piece of plastic, basically. Composite is what they call it, that they put over until you get your actual crown. There is nowhere for a chip. It is all put together the right way, because when the dentist goes to put the permanent crown in, they have to grind it down to the right bite. So that way you don't have it hitting first or whatever. So it doesn't wear down like that. So they have to take an actual drill and grind down the bite on the top just where you have the perfect bite. So there's nowhere for a chip. People find the weirdest things.
That's a crazy conspiracy.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy that's just, it's got to be debunked just off of common sense.
Right.
I think that if there's an organization that is all powerful that wanted to get a chip in you, they're not just waiting for you to go to the dentist. I think they probably have some other ways to do it too. Like, you know what I mean? Like unless you're farming your own food, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different ways that you could possibly ingest a chip if it's ingestible or whatever.
Well, that's what they were saying about the vaccine, that the vaccine was a big thing for everyone to be ingested with something.
I'm trans-vaxxed.
Trans-vaxxed?
I identify as a vaccinated person, but I never actually got vaccinated, so disrespect my identity.
So I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Like, there was a time that I got my flu shot every year, and then with the whole COVID thing really kind of fucked me up, because at first, I was on board with it, but then, like, something about it, it's gotta be.
Oh, no,
I'm
not
dying.
It's just that it's fallen, and I'm trying to put it back.
It's fallen and it can't get up.
Yeah. It's
you can take it off.
Sometimes
I think we've got the point.
We understand. Are you like? Did they pay? Is this one of the sponsors? Should we shout them out?
No, dude. I drink them a lot. That's all.
Oh wow!
So you love?
Have you ever had one of those?
No, not one.
Horrible. Oh,
I mean,
God.
I can't see drinking water out of a can. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, it's bad enough that I have my Circle bottle.
So clearly, Canadian is good. Like, that is some fucking good seltzer water. And even in the can, and then they have the generic one called Clear American. That one is really good too.
Out of Walmart, yeah.
I'm not a seltzer water guy, so it's like, it's just kind of, I don't know. And then the
drink a
name
lot of
Liquid
seltzer
Death.
water.
I guess that was great advertising for some people, but for me
Yes.
personally,
It sounds like an alcoholic drink.
even like when I only got 3 years clean. I got over 3 years in June. Or every June I got 3 years.
Nice,
Every June I get a new year. But either way, like when I was still in active addiction and I seen the company Liquid Death, I'm sure the marketing worked on like, you know what I mean. But for me, it was like I don't want to drink liquid. I'm just gonna drink the stuff that I'm already drinking. I'm gonna drink the sweet tea. I don't know if I want to put Liquid Death in my mouth. But you've seen that and you said, I need that Liquid Death in my mouth right now and more of it.
Good, dude. It tastes
I can think of something else I'd want in my mouth right now. Not that.
it's refreshing.
Nick likes cock.
It's not like death. It's not
Hey,
like death.
nothing.
Yeah, you good.
You like what you like.
You're right. I'm not mad.
Hell, I was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show cast for 8 years. You ain't going to say shit to me.
Who'd you play?
I was Eddie.
Oh, okay, I see that.
Yep.
I was Riff Raff.
I did Eddie for 8 years and doubled as Dr. Scott. And then the last 3 years, I was the cast producer. So I directed and brought in new people to play the parts and ran the practices. I did the pre-show in front of, and that's actually probably where I really got my start in comedy, emceeing Rocky Horror's pre-show. So
It's a good way to get your nerves worked out.
oh, absolutely. I've never had nerves though because, like I said, I was a musician. I played in front of 20,000 people inside of the Citrus Bowl when I was 18 years old in a drum and bugle corps.
Wow.
Shout out Blue Coats. Anyway, yeah, I was in a drum and bugle corps in 1996 playing in front of 20,000 people in a stadium for 12 minutes. You know?
That's nice.
And we did that same show the whole year. We came in 7th in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, nerves have never been a problem for me. I am stone cold on the stage. I don't get nervous. Like, I can walk right up to a microphone. My dad was a stage musician. So I guess that might have been the part that really did it for me, gave me the...
There's people that do it, and there's people that have never had a problem. They never, like, especially if you're a musician, I think that automatically kind of goes into the ideas, like, the end result is going on stage.
Right.
There's a lot of people who want to play music, want to become a musician, and they get a band, and then they realize that they can't get on the stage. And I've played with so many people, great musicians, but the moment it's time for them to play on stage, it ain't happening. They're done. They wind up having
Locked
to quit
up.
the band. The very first band I ever had, my guitar player, we went and played a writer's night at the Cannery. He disappears. He shows up 5 minutes before we were going on, drunk off his ass. The next week, the same thing, writer's night, came back, drunk off his ass. He couldn't play without being trashed. And then when we wound up talking to him about it, he just got pissed off about it and fucking quit the band.
What was the name of your first band?
Concrete Wilderness.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
One of my best friends in high school had a band called Screaming Seaman and Minoxidil 9.
Okay.
The whole entire name
That was the
called-
name of the fucking
Interesting.
band. Screaming Seaman and Minoxidil 9. Minoxidil 9 is that shit that they used to put to kill the semen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool t-shirt. You in your mind. You got to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
It's interesting.
definitely.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really had a lot of nerves going on stage, either whether I was doing comedy or rap. I think that I'm lying. I feel a certain way, but it's never been enough to debilitate me or whatever. I've always been able to work through it and just go up there. And I feel like you said, I used to dream. I used to rap to myself in my mirror in my house. So when I
And then
found
you thought about yourself
being on stage. So by
right.
the time I got there, like you're right, the day of the show, I'm feeling weird. I might have to take a couple of, number twos or whatever. But by the time it's time to get up there, I'm ready to try to rock the crowd. Same thing with comedy. When I came home, I was in jail, the guy told me, hey, you should be a comedian. You shouldn't even think about being rap. That's what happened. I was on a violation. He's like, yo, you should do comedy. You're funny. Like, you can rap, but I love listening to your stories. You always make me laugh. So I was like, he said, there's probably less people doing comedy than rap, which was like a joke because I didn't know how people wanted to be a comedian at the time. But in prison, there was less people. Like, there was nobody else. Like, if there was 1,000 people at that prison, probably 600 wanted to be rappers. There was nobody else there that was thinking in their mind, hey, I want to be a comedian. So it made me do feel like it was a easier door to get through until I came home and actually started doing it. But even when I first came on stage with my first jokes that I had wrote, which was like a bunch of like RAPE jokes I had wrote for whatever reason that was just hilarious to me, and I don't know why. I know.
I can imagine that being a stand-up comedian and a rapper would be similar in the way that it's a solo act, whereas like when you're a musician, you're usually up there with a couple other fellows, you know, whether it's your drummer or whatever. But when you're a rapper or when you're a comedian, you're up there by yourself, and you're also coming off with a lot of material. And then either way, I mean, like, so Eminem. I look at Eminem's album not as a music album as much as it's a comedy album. His first album is a fucking comedy
It's
album.
hilarious. Great album.
When you listen to that, man, if you're not laughing during like your first
You're not listening.
You're no.
Oh yeah.
No.
You're taking it too serious.
That's a comedy album to me. So when I look at it, excuse me, I really look at it as that you have to have timing because that's what you have to have flow. And that's true for being a rapper and for a comedian. And then you have to be able to write, and it's consistent. And then think of how much material you have to write for 60 seconds as a comedian.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Just 60 seconds.
I mean, we were actually talking about this here on the way here. My writing struggles because I come from a group performance type background. And when it comes to that, I'm not used to actually putting my words onto paper until I've actually said something of substance. So our podcast that we're launching is not just going to be us being funny. It's actually us working new material to have on stage because both of us have found that our writing styles are conversational. Okay. And it's a lot of similarities.
Now
But
your comedy style, is it more storytelling?
I'm definitely a storyteller.
Right.
And the thing that I didn't realize when I first started, though, was how many jokes you had to put in the story to keep people engaged. And
There's a beat.
Yeah, the beats, you have to keep them consistent and coming. And a lot of people don't understand that, and they don't realize that when they first get into comedy. Timing is only half of it. You know? Mm-hmm. Knowing when and where to put the joke and how long to wait after the joke, that's the real art of comedy.
Well, and the material.
The pacing, yeah.
Absolutely. The material speaks for itself. But what I'm getting at is the art and the rhythm of comedy is the real beautiful part of the art. And that's the part that I focus on the most, is making sure that I don't start back too soon and I don't wait too long. I find that happy medium right in between.
You're talking about for the audience response.
For the audience response. Yeah, because I don't want to start while they're laughing, but I want to start at the tail end of their laugh to get to the next joke. Because I don't want them to lose the thought that they're laughing. Because as long as they remember that they've been laughing and then I'm giving them more material to laugh at, it just makes it so much easier. Do y'all know who Christopher Titus is? Mm-hmm. So I met Chris Titus about 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And we were at Comedy Off Broadway in Lexington. He was doing a one-night show, and he came through. And at the meet and greet afterwards, I was talking to him. I was like, hey, Mr. Titus, I've actually got a comedy competition coming up, and I've got 3 minutes that I need to fill. And he goes, all right, so you need 60 jokes. I said, I need what?
Wow.
60 jokes to do 3 minutes. That's a joke every 5 seconds.
That's
in my style, that doesn't work for me. But that's the
crazy.
type of jokes that he does. And he's managed to put that in his act where he's got a joke behind a statement, behind a joke, behind a statement. I can't do that. I'm way too long-winded, if you can't tell right now. I talk a lot. So finding that joke break is really crucial for me. And it'll take me either from having a really, really good set to wishing I never started at all. It's that bad.
Fair. Dude,
Titus-
some bombs are tough.
I like Titus, but as he got older, it seemed like he kind of like would repeat a lot of the material. Like he would tell it differently, and then he would get to this point where it would be more of a monologue, more than it would be like him up there telling stories or jokes. It would be like a lot of it would be like this from beginning to end, you know, like his life story, and then each episode or each special that he would put out again would be like just another iteration of the same experiences, but then told a different way. And it just seemed very kind of preachy, very sermon-y, and very long-winded. Kind of the same the way that like with George Carlin towards the end. Like I got bailed out of George Carlin because he got very sermon-y, very.
He was so cynical.
Well, he got very cynical like in the '90s where he just like he'd be very nihilistic, and he was just like fuck you to everything, and that's when he kind of got dangerous. But then that's when, I mean, like every fucking special that he wound up putting up was
But you put a special out called "You're All Diseased." Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, you're alienating your audience from the title.
That's true. It's very, very counter.
I mean, that's.
I like that though. Just to keep it G. I think that's like, I like for me, like Andy Kaufman, like that type of me versus you versus the audience type thing. I guess, you know what I'm saying? I like that type of stuff. I don't like
Tom Green was in.
and I like that's why I like this movie. I like the idea of just I feel like sometimes, especially as artists, we want our art to be appreciated so bad that we're willing to not even really put out our art because of fear of you not liking it. Like I don't want to draw this picture of my dick. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna draw it because I don't. Who's gonna like it? Instead of just saying fuck it, I'm gonna take a picture and blow this shit up and put it out there. Like this is my art. This is me. Either you like it or you don't. And if you, like when you're thinking of a name, I'm sure there was somebody in marketing saying, you should have named that Everybody's Disease or whatever. Like maybe like nobody's, but he's like, no, this is what I want to do. And I kind of like that art over even the ability, like I said, like that counter of will it be appreciated or not? Will somebody be able to hear that title, turn that show on, possibly hear that tagline, right? Because he's probably going to say it at least once in the show. He's going to, you know, like my favorite part of every movie. I love when they say the name of the movie in the movie, so I'm sure he's going to say that during the comedy show. Like, everybody in here is disease, but hear that and still be able to see the greatness in that art that he's putting out besides that.
Well, he also got to a point where he could do that too.
Right.
Like, I mean, yeah.
He made fuck you money.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you make fuck you money, there's not much that anyone could really say to you because you're gonna do it anyway, and you got the money to put the shit out.
You don't have to depend on HBO anymore.
Right. Yeah.
If they don't do it, Showtime will do it, right?
Right.
Somebody's going to put this. Somebody's going to put George Carlin's special out. Nobody's
Now,
going
now, thankfully, there was a George Carlin because I grew up listening to George Carlin on vinyl. Like that's how I first heard what.
My first comedy album was Bill Cosby himself.
That was everybody's.
I mean-
was it the vinyl or was it on
Vinyl.
Okay, so I remember having cable, and so what was that 84 or something like that. So I remember when it came out, and that was the.
Wait a minute. No. The one I had was from the 70s. It might not have been himself.
Okay.
It was probably his first one because he was talking about his dad and taking the car, and he was talking also about Rudy and all them from Fat Albert.
No. Okay, so no, himself was I can't remember if Showtime or HBO, but it was one of the early comedy specials, and it was like right before
Cosby Show.
but it was also right before Eddie Murphy's like
Raw and Delirious.
That's my first
Yeah.
thing I ever seen somebody walk on
So
stage
good.
and do jokes. I didn't get a comedy album. Only album that was in my house was Bobby Brown's My Prerogative.
All right.
I think also, I'm lying, it might have been that Candy song too. I forgot what group did that, but yeah, watching Raw, I remember sitting there just watching that, not really knowing what he's talking about, but just kind of just thinking, this is making me giggle, you know what I mean? And it really inspired me.
My parents did not watch the shit that me and my brother watched, so I was very advanced. So by the time like I saw almost everything, Oh my God, Cheech and Chong. I remember when Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams came on cable. We had just gotten cable, and we watched our very first 2 R movie. My brother and I watched our very first 2 R-rated movies. The first movie is Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams, which
Hell yeah.
still
Right.
top 5 greatest comedy movie ever. If you have never seen
What's your
Cheech and
other 4?
Chong's,
Cheech and Chong, they have like 10 movies there.
they-
together,
uh,
don't they?
so like a
So-
few of them are like really good, but Nice Dreams is like the best. I'm so glad
Okay.
this was my first like R-rated comedy movie,
I
first
only watched,
R-rated
like,
movie
I think,
period.
Like the first couple.
Can I get
like,
your other
Up in
4?
Smoke and
Huh?
The other 4.
Oh,
You said top 5, so it's like you're right there already. It's like I need the other 4 now.
oh, then I gotta think about that. I don't know. I have to think
All right,
about-
what about a Mount Rushmore of comedians that influence you?
Oh, for me, I would. I guess I would put like Dan Soder up there. I
That's
like
great.
him a lot. He's
Dan,
great.
Wow.
he's
I
one of
love
them.
Dan.
Shout out to Dan.
Let me see. I really liked all of the blue collar guys, but I guess
Okay.
if I had to pick one, I'd probably put like Jeff Foxworthy.
He has
I
to be
like
the
him.
guy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Were you
yeah.
a big Larry the Cable Guy?
Right.
No, not Larry.
I'm joking.
Nah, I
With
think
Jeff.
this one isn't an influence, but he's one of my favorites and belongs on a Mount Rushmore. Is Godfrey?
Gilbert Gottfried?
No, Godfrey
Oh.
in New
Oh,
York.
all right.
the
I know
black
you're talking about,
dude.
yeah.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, he
Yeah, he
rips,
does good.
dude.
He's funny. Yeah, he's
His
funny.
impressions are incredible.
I was going
Like,
to say that. Yeah.
I've seen him live at Zany's a couple times. Like
man.
he blows the roof off that
Okay.
place every time. And same thing with Dan and his impressions. He does that impression of fucking Dave Chappelle that
Yeah.
kills me, dude. Sends me.
I've
Just
liked.
great.
I didn't get really turned on to Dan Soder until I started watching Billions.
Fair, 'cause he was in that show.
I love that show. I absolutely love that show. Anything that's smart and like has real something that's going to hook you in and some pop culture references and shit like that, it draws me in like nothing. I will binge watch seasons in a day, and I'll fucking not go make money in a day because I want to watch a fucking series.
I see.
Like I
Oh,
just finished the
yes.
4th series of The Boys. You know?
Oh, nice.
But
The Boys is interesting. I tried reading the comics, and I'll be honest with you, I feel like the comics
I tapped out this
are
season.
The Boys
bad.
is a lot.
I tapped
It
out
is a
this
whole
season.
lot.
I got so bored this season. I tapped out.
It was hard to get past episode 3.
So 3 is where I tapped out. So pretty much like I was pretty much on like I don't know. I guess I figured by season 2 it was gonna go somewhere completely different and didn't really go much further. And like now it's just still meandering around the same waters and shit. And like I'm not into superhero movies anyway, but like it kind of started off as like in the direction that I thought it would be. But then it kind of went to like the whole Watchmen thing. It just kind of got boring.
Watchmen. Oh my God, there was a missed opportunity.
Bummer.
That movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had a series.
Yeah,
Like-
I know.
Like I mean, I can get on to a point, and I love like shit being R-rated and everything. And as far as being like, okay, well now I'm on like, but like for the most part, like, I mean, Deadpool was cool, but like the third one, I'm still bored with it. I mean, despite oh yeah, all the cameos, they're great, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, Wolverine,
Yeah.
dude. Fucking
In the
great.
suit, he has a suit on, the actual suit. Yeah.
So you know what I thought was funny?
Excellent
Did you
suit.
guys see leading up before the movie came out? They had mocked up Danny DeVito as Wolverine.
Yes,
Beautiful.
I saw that. That was
That's
so
great.
funny.
I love Danny DeVito
Dude.
in anything.
If you make Danny DeVito as Wolverine and put that shit as a for real fucking movie, I'm down. I will see it in theater. I will go in theater to see Danny DeVito as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Here's my money.
They,
Take it all.
They could make one so quick. Just turn it out, Disney.
Yeah.
Well,
That
not to get
powerhouse
schizophrenic
machine.
on our conversation, but you were talking about Dan Soder,
Oh yeah.
Godfrey.
Godfrey,
Not Larry the Cable Guy.
Jeff Foxworthy.
I think I would probably put Big J Okerson up there. I like
That's
him a
pretty
lot,
good.
Too. He's very sick.
My Mount Rushmore is simply Robin Williams,
Good. Fun.
Richard Pryor,
Okay.
Dave
Oh, yeah.
Chappelle, and
Yes.
I always tell everybody I reserve the right for the 4th one to rotate between Joey Diaz.
Joey's great. His storytelling is fantastic.
Jim. Damn it, what's Jim's last name?
Brewer.
Yeah, no,
No, Jim
That's the
Norton.
guy from
no,
that
the Australian.
He's funny.
Oh, Jim.
Gafferty.
Fucking.
No, fuck. Why I forget his name?
It's God.
Crow.
No.
It's
But you know who I'm talking about. He did a special called Intolerant.
You sure it wasn't Jim Crow?
No, I'm positive.
not Jim Crow.
But anyway,
That guy was killing it.
literally. But between them and maybe Bill Burr and Tom Segura, I used to have Bert Kreischer in there, but Bert is just so commercialized and such a whore, you know, when it comes to doing things just to be doing them.
He's got like 3 really good stories, but then on top
Yeah.
of it, but no, there's not really much of it.
Right.
Like the machine, flying dildos, and
The period party story. I think that one's funny.
that's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, naming her period Jason because it came on Friday the 13th. Give me a fucking break.
That was very funny.
That's pretty good.
So
Right to the
smart.
point.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's like my top 4. And yeah, I know it seems kind of cornbread, you know, just high in names, but that's who actually touched me. I watched Chappelle's show from the very beginning, bought
I
it,
remember watching it.
Oh, yeah.
and watched it
Central
over
lot.
and
I
over,
was a
and I
teenager.
still get on Netflix and watch it.
Facts.
I mean, we are 25 years post Chappelle show.
It's relevant today.
And
So,
still relevant. I mean, the
Hilarious.
Clayton Bigsby skit, the very first skit he did on the show, set the tone for the entire first season.
Yeah.
And if you can't laugh at that, you have your head way too far up your ass.
Or you have no sense of humor.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say that to you.
I mean, you have a cranial rectal inversion that really needs an operation.
You probably suffer from help and need medication. I would seek help from your doctor or a therapist to
Is
get.
Clayton the crackhead or the blind guy?
It's
the
the
blind
black-white
Yeah,
supremacist.
Oh.
Don't get us canceled.
I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
That's
yo,
the name of
Yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
what
mean,
I
we
love.
did just have like that crazy lady on.
So last week I lost 10 subscribers.
Can you
Uh-oh.
lost 10?
For solid, like
Oh,
10.
we're gonna
Really?
beat that. We're gonna lose. We're gonna have to lose 20. We're gonna.
Dude, you guys are
I
gonna
can't
help
afford to
us
lose
get
anymore.
more.
We can lose 10 a year. We just lost our 10.
I'm just. Yeah. Who's your Mount Rushmore?
Of comedians?
Of comedian. I mean, well, yeah, whatever you corn, whatever you want to do.
Dave Attell,
Oh, David Tell. Yeah.
Doug Stanhope,
Okay.
Ron
Oh,
White,
yeah.
and that's
Old tater salad.
yeah, Tater's great. Lampanelli, Lisa Lampanelli,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Good
before
girl.
she went
Okay.
PC.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
was-
the roast with Lisa Lampanelli was awesome.
Lisa Lampanelli before 2016.
I think you're right.
Before she lost the weight.
With that and before she went PC and tried to clean her shit up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she would be hardcore. This is the thing. She was like South Park. She was hardcore on everybody. She wasn't just... So when she would say something, you didn't take offense to it because she hit everybody. It's
I
not
feel
like,
you.
you know... So it's just one of those things like when, you know, she was like, talking, oh, where's my faggots at or something like that. Those people were there. They loved her. It's like, oh, here I am. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like they're there for that. And then I guess, you know, some schmuck on fucking a website somewhere decided to put in their vlog how horribly offensive she is and blah, blah, blah. Even though that these people are paying to see her, they know exactly what's coming out of her mouth. If you're going to a Lisa Lampanelli show and you don't know what you're walking into, you're in the wrong.
Right.
Not her. You are in the wrong.
Especially if you've never watched her do a roast.
Or anything.
Yeah. I think she was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But Doug
Yeah,
Stanhope, to
she's-
me, like, when I hear Doug Stanhope talk and do his, it's all the things I've ever thought. It's like, damn, man, have we like shared a life at some point? Cause
There are those people that you can find so many similarities with and just find the commonalities. And unfortunately, when you're in the comedy world, and you share so many commonalities with other people, sometimes you get accused of stealing bits. And
Robin Williams was really big on getting accused of stealing bits. I didn't realize how bad it was until here recently. I've heard a lot of different comedians talk about that. Of course, everybody hears about the whole Mencia thing and everything.
Right.
Which that got proven. I mean, someone put together like a compilation video of, shit. But again, I mean, like, you can't help to absorb something that maybe you have heard that maybe you didn't necessarily key into.
Right.
It pops up into something that you're doing. You say it. You're not exactly sure where it comes from. It sounds good. But everything has been written.
My big thing is there is no such thing as an original thought
anymore
unless something new is invented. And that's what
Ozzy even said it 20 years ago when it came to music. Ozzy even said everything's been written. It's just a matter of
how you say it,
how you do it. Yeah, it's like, what's your take on it? And that's the way I feel like as far as like stand-up comedy is like you've literally got to watch everybody's set to see what everybody has fucking heard, and then at that point doing that, you're putting all that into your head in order for you to accidentally pop it up one day. So, like, to me, it's like, I'm going to do whatever I can do that I know it's funny because it's from my personal experience. If somebody comes up to me after a set and they're like, hey, someone-so did that bit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I won't do it any fucking more. Or I'll look at their bit if it happens to be online and see how similar it is. Because, like, everything that I write is from my personal experience. So unless you were in my body at the time that these things were written, I highly doubt that you have this. And if it is something similar to your personal experience, then, let me look at your shit. Let me see what it is. How, that I can probably, differentiate so I'm not treading on your toes.
Are you too high that you can't find a fucking drink?
Dude, I was trying to find a Coke for you.
Oh my God!
You can have this one. It's cold.
Thanks.
You can have mine. I probably won't drink it.
It's all right. There's another one over here.
I just gave him my Coke. Don't worry about it.
I was going to say, would you like a soda water?
No, I don't drink soda water.
I was like, is he so high he can't find a drink?
He's lost, right? So my thing on that idea about people stealing jokes, I feel like if you're worried about somebody stealing your joke, you only got one joke. Like, stop crying like a little girl.
Write more.
It's like in my mind, write more. Also, I feel like I don't know who said it, but it's a quote from somebody. Great artists still. So I also feel like at the same time is like my spin on your joke. If I could, if I was to do a joke and then I heard James doing the joke, right, and he got a better response to me, instead of wanting to fight him, I would like really want to go maybe try to write with him and connect with him on some, because obviously he could teach me how to do my jokes better. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, if I do the joke and I'm not getting the response I want, but then he's doing it, or even if I am getting a response, but his response is better or whatever, it's like people just, to me, I think like anything, like even music, any type of art, you have real artists who is in your spirit. You can't even help it. That's why I think all of us here have tried different forms of art, whether it's music, whether it's acting, whatever you're doing, and even now comedy, or even doing this art form right here. Right. So I feel like you have it in your heart to be an artist, and then you have some people who really ain't got it in their spirit, but they have it in their heart, I should say. They don't have it in their spirit, but it's in their heart to want to do this, to want to be a comedian, to want to be and they're willing to put the work in, which is respectable too at the same time. But I think that's a different plight. Like even when I wrote music, I would be hype if I was in my car and I heard a song come on that I had wrote, even if I'm thinking like Snoop Dogg singing it, like, what? Yeah. Like, are you serious, bro? Or like, even like I said, like even a joke, like, one of the first things I did was write a movie that hopefully it gets made one day called Pork Fried Rice and Chicken Wings. It's a dramedy. It's about a couple of friends who want to create an invention, so they decide to rob a Chinese restaurant, but they treat it like a bank heist, right? So I had wrote the movie, and as I was writing the movie, I was locked up. So I was going to the law library every day using the typewriter to type the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's dedication.
Yeah, so I was doing that, and a bit I wrote in that movie was an idea that no matter how much food you order, it always takes the Chinese restaurant 10 minutes. So you could order like $300 worth of food, and they was like 10 minutes.
Oh.
No matter how much food, because that's like almost been like my life story. Like no matter how much food you order from a Chinese restaurant, it's always been pick up in 10 minutes. So I wrote that bit in the movie, and when I came home and I was looking for bits or how things to write down as jokes, I tried to translate that into a joke, which I did. And I told that joke on stage, and it got a great response. And then maybe like a couple of months later, I'm at the comedy club in Charlotte where I first was doing comedy, and a guy goes on stage and he tells basically a similar joke. Like it had to, like it's almost like I know he stole my joke. Like you know what I mean? But instead of waiting outside the club to fight the guy and all of that, I just was like, first of all, I was happy that somebody actually appreciated my art enough to even want to steal it because, again, like I said before, I don't know about anybody else, but I got self-esteem issues. Some of my art is looking for validation, right? I'm looking for people to,
Well, that's all of us.
what I create, that somebody appreciate. Like I'm putting it out here. I'm bearing my soul for you, do you this comedy or whatever I'm doing, whatever art form, and I'm looking to be validated. So for somebody to even think that something I created, if anything, that really was like one of those confirmation things for me to say that, oh, I am a great writer. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't even thinking about it in my mind. I should be more protective or whatever. I must be. For somebody to think something I wrote was so good that they would want to steal it and add it to their act and try to make it their own joke.
Do you record your sets?
I do. I do a lot. I do.
That's the best way to protect yourself is to record yours.
The Australian guy was Jim Jeffries. Before I forget
Jim
again, you guys got me
Jeffries.
so contact high right now I couldn't remember his last name.
Hell
damn
yeah,
sure.
dude. That's our
I'm
job.
damn sure
Cheers
going-
to that.
Cheers.
Good job.
There you go.
Imaginary.
It's only 300 miles back to Lexington.
I definitely have the munchies. I gotta
I'm
hopefully
so
something's
sorry,
It's
open.
okay.
buddy. I know it's
No,
a
no, it's
drive.
Pizza.
No, I don't eat pork.
You didn't get a cheese?
I didn't grab
only
cheese.
got- yeah, I just-
I didn't know.
He didn't nobody ask.
He didn't go hot and ready. He went Papa John's. He actually spent some money.
Yeah, I
No,
am.
no. So we used to do hot and ready, and they jacked their prices up to $7.99 for.
They're $7.99.
$7.99 for a pepperoni pizza.
They're $6 in.
Yeah, not,
Kentucky.
This is Nashville.
Okay.
So at the same time, though, they did at the exact same time, Papa John's lowered their price to $7.99 for any single topping. So we're not even stuck with pepperoni for the same
You can get
price.
ham
we
or
can get whatever
sausage.
the fuck we
Just
want.
Just one.
whatever.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah,
But
that's cool.
still,
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
still
so,
Papa John's over. Yeah.
yeah. So we
Right.
do Papa John's now
Exactly.
because it's a fucking better pizza.
I worked for Papa John's off and on
Speaking
for
of-
14 years.
I'm
Okay.
gonna grab a slice. Hell
You
yeah.
I worked for them off and on for 14 years. I'm going to turn you all on to something that changed my life in a big way.
No.
Okay, so you take the pizza crust, you put garlic butter on it instead of sauce.
Okay.
You put pork sausage on it, extra cheese, and then you run it through the oven and cook it the way it's supposed to be done. You cut it, but you get the nacho cheese dipping cup and dip that motherfucker in there. You will have a flavor explosion in your mouth, and not in a bad way.
Okay.
That sounds crazy, dude.
It is so fucking good.
Can you open it? You need to open it? Or you just,
Do you need a hand?
are you good?
Yeah,
He does.
that's true. Does anyone?
Somebody else.
Anybody got a bare hand?
Yeah.
But yeah, so working at Papa John's for 14 years, I learned how to make steaks in a pizza oven. We would get bored of eating pizza, so we'd run up to the grocery store, go to Kroger, go buy some ribeyes. We'd take gallons of garlic butter, pour some in a freaking tub, take a big old thing of A1, pour that in there, mix it all up, put some salt and pepper, some Worcestershire sauce, and soak it in that butter marinade for about an hour. And then we'd take a piece of aluminum foil, put it across one of the pizza screens, and we would stick it, to get it medium rare, it's 4.5 minutes to go through the oven. So we would open the window and put it at about 3.5 minutes
For a steak.
for a steak to go through a 500-degree pizza oven.
You probably want it red, though, right?
No, medium rare.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
So
I'm thinking
by
of-
the time it comes through and it's out, you go cut it into it, perfect medium rare every time. I learned how to make steaks and asparagus and all kinds of shit in a pizza oven. When you're at Papa John's, you get bored.
Okay.
I learned how to cook crack in the microwave.
I unfortunately know how to do that.
that's
I don't
my-
know the recipe.
That's
but
what I
know.
learned based on my previous jobs.
Not surprised by that.
Oh man, why not?
So when you were making crack, did you use like the baking soda? Or
I did do baking soda. I was
shit.
taught by a person who was a smoker who taught us how to cook. We was young. We had I guess I could
so
say
what's
it
the
now.
difference between the baking soda and like that yellow? Like
Don't
oil?
get me to lying. We was like, I can say it now again, like I said, because we older, but we was doing some stuff where we was like working for the older dudes. We would go from Manhattan to Queens on the train, from the E train. So we would go through that, and they would make us wear like tighty whities, and we would have like a bunch of soft in it, right? You know, and we thought it was crack. We didn't know it was coke. We thought because it was hard, but it was coke. So we had started to pinch them and put some to the side, so that way we could get our own little money to buy, some smoke and all of that. And we went to go sell it to somebody, and the lady bought it and she left. Then the guy bought it. Well, it was the guy first, and the lady came back because the guy came back, and he was like, "Y'all didn't sell me no crack. It was fake." You know what I mean? So we ended up
But you guys were selling powder.
yeah, but we thought it was because it was so hard.
Right.
Wow.
It was so hard.
But
like-
you didn't realize that you were selling the powder.
Yeah, we thought we were selling. We thought we had because we knew they sold crack, so we didn't know like.
But then when they smoked it, they didn't get off on it?
The guy said he came back. So the guy came back. Sometimes they be trying to get over on you too, right?
Yeah.
So he just came back like, "Y'all sold me some fake stuff. I want the money back." And we like, "What?" So we just like threw bottles at him and all of that, and he kind of like got hit a couple of times and ran off.
Wow.
But then the lady came
Holy
back.
crap.
Shout out to Auntie Michelle. I think she's passed away now, but that's not my Auntie Michelle, but a different lady.
Rest
No.
in peace,
Rest in
Auntie
peace to my
Michelle.
other Auntie Michelle too. I love you, Auntie Michelle.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But to the
We love
street,
you.
to my street Auntie Michelle, yeah, she came back and was like, "You guys are selling coke, right?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "That's not crack. You're not selling crack. If y'all want to sell crack, I can help y'all like sell crack. Y'all have to cook it." And he's like, "We had
She
her.
was going to help you cook it.
She did help us cook it.
Oh.
And she taught us how to do it.
All right.
That
That gives it a whole new meaning to learning the recipe.
Yeah, she took us. She
Yeah.
took us to her house and she said, "How much I got?" And we unbagged everything we had bagged up because we had went and got baggies and bagged it all up and
So you bagged it up as crack.
Yeah, we had bought like the skinny 12s and all of that. We had the 52,
Wow.
50s.
So how much more crack some product did you have taking the coke and then breaking it down?
When
into
she
crack?
then cooked it in the crack, she was nice, and we ended up making more money than we had originally bagged up
Right.
because it stretches the amount
Yeah.
to some extent. But she did it to enough where we was jumping. We had it going crazy. We was making for like kids. We was hype. You know
and
what I
of
mean?
course, you gave
It's so
her.
good.
Oh,
I know.
that's another thing too. She let us
It's
stay at her
addictive.
house. We started. That's why I call her my auntie or whatever because
Oh.
she let us just. She didn't like kick us away. We just stood there and then she would just bring people over. So we wasn't even outside. Which, if you remember from the origin of the story, we couldn't be outside that much anyway because we had stole our
You
original
were on
product.
someone else's.
Well, they would have wanted to know like, where do you get the money? Where do you get this product from? So. We was trying to secretly do everything in the first place. So now we was able to do it from inside our house. And she was just bringing people through. Like, you know what I mean? We was making money like that. So, and
I'm
then-
sure she got her cut.
Oh, yeah. We was dumb. She said, could she keep the jar? And we let her keep the jar. And then like later on in life, when I started cooking myself, I realized how much is in that jar. You know what I mean? Like, when you finish scrape, like, it's
Oh, the powder or
well, the residue.
product?
It's product that'd be stuck on the side of the jar. And you could probably scrape that and get a nice, good amount from it.
Wow.
So we let her keep the jar as a souvenir, and then we're still giving her work for being there. And for sale, she was bringing, and she ended up giving all of us young dudes oral at some point. Later on, when we got older,
Interesting.
she wasn't really cute, but we was all older. We ended up talking like everybody because it was like she caught us all by herself. You know what I mean? She didn't do it like while we was all standing in a circle.
Oh, right.
So it was like she caught everybody by herself.
Oh
and
wow!
then-
I was sitting here picturing
Oh, no.
a drug dealing gangbang. I mean,
Nah, we did a bunch of gangbanging too, but not at
But
that
when
point.
you guys were by yourself, she was like, "Hey."
Yeah,
let's
one of
do
us would be
something.
over there spending the night or something, because it was our shift or something kind of fake, and we there, and she costs one of us. Let me get one. I'll give you some head if you give me one. Somebody and everybody fell for it, gave her one or
Everyone
two,
did it.
and we all got tired from it. But we didn't know about it, like I said, until we was all grown up, like maybe 15
Oh,
years
y'all were
later.
just talking around the campfire.
Yeah,
right?
we on the phone. Like we on the phone. We was like, "Yo, Michelle, you remember Michelle? Yeah. Did she give you head? Like, what? She gave you head too? Like, what?" Everybody was so hype. We were so like, "Yeah, I got it. Yeah, she called me that one night. You had left me there when you went to get the Chinese food. She came.
the Chinese.
she came in there to say, could she get one? And I said, he said she would give me head, so I gave her one. Like I was like, it's my $10 too. So yeah,
That's wild.
I mean, yeah. You know, growing up in Queens, like he said, he's from Long Island, man. It was different. I think, just, especially the era I grew up in, less cameras. Like, you know, we can get it. I used to cut school, like I was saying that. I used to cut school and go to Maury. It was right in Manhattan. It was right next by the Madison Square Garden. They was filming there. They filmed them and Montel Williams. I don't know if y'all remember that show, but they used to film in the same building.
Springer too.
Well, it changed.
That's when it went to Connecticut.
Yeah, it went to Connecticut. Yeah, and Maury's not there no more either. But they used to get free pizza too. Like I used to be like my date spot. We would jump on the train, go to Manhattan, cut school with a shorty, go there. They get you free. You do 2 shows, and in between the 2 shows, you get a free piece of pizza. Well, free pizza, not even like a piece. They just bring a bunch of. And New York pizza, it's different.
Way better.
It was different. Like why y'all didn't get us some hot chicken? Like we tourists. When tourists come through, we don't want.
We
Papa
from
John
Kentucky.
pizza.
We like chicken.
We want some Nashville food. Y'all,
This is the
we
thing
give y'all the
about
game.
hot chicken. You eat hot chicken and do a show. Halfway through that show, you got to run for the shit.
I mean, I
You'll
already
be
get
gone
bubble
for
guts
a
before I go
while.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
I
but
saw
your
Bert
butt will hurt
Kreischer
so
here, and
bad.
Bert Kreischer had to like speed his setup because he had the shits on stage.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you could have given it to us for after the show. All right. We want when people come to Nashville, we letting y'all right when y'all come. We come to Nashville. People come to Nashville to visit you guys. We want Nashville food. We don't want something we could have got in Lexington,
That's
Kentucky.
In our defense, we got food for where people come on and drink and absorb so they can do the heavy drinking.
I get
But
you.
Yeah, it's true.
let us know next time, and we will definitely.
Well, you got to have us back for
We're,
sure.
we're gonna have you back, and we'll have some hot chicken. Just remind Nick here. We'll get
We
you-
could some
Yeah.
type of.
I tell you what,
Nashville.
y'all provide the hot chicken. I'll bring a bottle of bourbon.
we could do that.
And I'll bring the bucket so we can
But
use
we'll
it if
also
we need
do-
to.
if we're gonna do hot chicken, then we're gonna do the original hot chicken, which is Prince's.
He was telling us.
Princess,
a-
I
Did you
was
tell us a story? When somebody told us a story.
Gus.
I said
I
the
thought Gus's
story
was the
earlier.
original.
No. Prince's is the original, and basically, Mrs. Prince would cook the chicken. Mr. Prince was out catting. Mrs. Prince found out that he was catting, so when he got home, of course, she had given all the extra spices and everything, make it just as fucking hot as she could. Sat it in front of him, and he sat there and ate the whole thing and thought, "Damn, baby, that was good."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. That's Prince's hot chicken.
All right.
Yeah.
What time they close?
I don't know. Their original location downtown closed up, and they're over here now.
All right.
Right down Nolens Road by Bell Road.
Might have to try those. Let's get some Prince. Let's really
We'll
get
look
this
it up. We'll check it
Nashville
out.
experience.
But Hattie B's is good. They're not I think they've been here like the last 5 or so years, but they're a good place.
They're local. I love. Do you travel a lot?
Here recently, but not entirely. Not.
Because I would tell him that's one of my rules. Like when you travel somewhere else, you don't eat a franchise.
Right.
You want to eat the hometown place. Now,
We support local businesses.
You want to support local. You want to because you
do.
can get a franchise at home. If you have to, if there's no other choice, and you got to slide by the MD or Wendy or whatever you at,
I
if you
would
have
say
to.
that if you go to Europe, definitely eat at the franchise. Holy fucking shit! I went to Amsterdam, dude. I ate something that was supposed to be a hamburger at some place. It looked like a hamburger. I don't know what it was. Like the meat was.
Might have been horse.
Was it soy?
I don't know what it was. It could have been. It could have been falafel. But I know like the next day when I got up and my very first piss, the smell hit me in the face. I was.
It was
like,
an asparagus burger.
You sure that was not the red light district?
But no, I visited there too. The night after.
The 2 Princes that I see are open until 10 p.m.
We got some time.
No, we got. I'm actually. I don't know. I'm gonna try. I want to try it though. Thank you. Give me some.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, dude, you
we're
gotta
actually
try
at,
it. It is good.
We are at 2 hours.
Are we?
We are at 2.
Shit.
Can you believe it's
Did
been
we
that long?
start
It's been a
early?
minute. We started 10 minutes early.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and we're
Hell
at
yeah.
10 minutes till. All right, so
Fuck
let's do
yeah.
this. Let's talk about what are your upcoming gigs.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Shoot 'em out, guys.
Okay. I've got a Planet of the Tapes open mic. I'm doing a lot of open mics this coming month because I'm working up some new stuff. I've got a Planet of the Tapes open mic in Louisville on the 4th, on the 5th. I'm the mid feature at Louisville Comedy Club.
Oh yeah.
Then the 3rd Thursday, I run my open mic in Richmond, Kentucky at a place called the Mad Axe. The Mad Axe is a axe throwing venue that's got a party room that we set up for comedy, and we're giving new comedians 3 minutes to 5 minutes to figure out if they can do it, and then I'm giving established.
Throwing axes?
No. Doing
Dude,
stage
say
time.
that.
It's an actual
Wow,
open mic.
throwing axes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
an axe throwing
we got a
place.
sliding door, thank God. Okay. But excuse me, that Coke is getting me.
The soda.
Yeah, the soda. And then immediately 2 days after that, we're doing our Thanksgiving show at the Mad Axe. I do a booked show where I bring in people from all over the region, which I'm going to talk to you guys about here in a minute, to come do 15-minute sets. And then I'll have a closer do 25 to 30. And I pay, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to develop the Lexington, Louisville, Cincinnati, Indy, Nashville area and give comics an opportunity to go from doing just a tight 5 to doing 15.
Oh, wow.
I'll give you 15 minutes and 10% of the door. You see what I'm saying? So if you bring people with you, you're going to make money. If you don't, you're driving home with no gas.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we give people an opportunity to expand their ability at my shows. So there's a lot of people out there that are just like, you do your 5 minutes, you get off stage. No, I don't believe in that. I believe in bringing everybody with me, because as I get better, I want my friends to get better. Like, he's done 25, 30-minute sets. I've done a 25, 30-minute sets.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we want to be at the point where we're on the road doing our podcast and booking comedy clubs, arenas, and stuff like that. So we are going to continue to work together on our podcast. That's going to drop sometime in the next coming month. Check YouTube.
Yep, got my 34 and a half is the YouTube, and it's DIRTY.
Is it Dirty4 or 30?
Yeah, dirty. So it's a play on words, but it's
34.
dirty, like not clean. You see, I got a card right here. I'll give you one. You can scan it. You can find it. So yeah, with my links right there. YouTube is 34 and a half DIRTY. The number 4 and a half is one word. You go in there. We're gonna be posting it funnier in person. We're gonna have that coming out. We got a bunch of other stuff we're doing right now. I'm definitely gonna be jumping on some of his open mics that he has going on. Like he said, he's constantly giving opportunities with no hate, no malice in his heart. It's in comedy when we got so many people with that C-Rab like energy in their heart of trying to keep you in the barrel. This guy's always lifting people up. That's why as soon as he said, do you want to take this trip with me? I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? So we from even like the last trip, but the next couple of shows I have coming up will be Lex Out Loud Comedy High Proof Hideaway.
Hell yeah.
Right there. Yeah, thank you.
There.
That's going to be in Lexington at the High Proof Hideaway. It's at High Proof Hideaway, 249 West Short Street in Lexington, Kentucky. That's downtown. It's free admission. You just got to be 20 up. It will start at 8 to 4. The headliner will be Larry Starks, and a feature act will be Hillary Boston.
What date was that?
That's November 6th, Wednesday. And they said the special guest, they know I'm special from for obvious reasons. I used to lick the windows on the bus. So I'll be the special guest for that. And then the next one I have coming up, besides, like I said, any open mics that he's going to be doing at the Mad Axe. And also they have a new one in Lexington. If you're watching this and you don't know, they got one on Wednesdays at Lex Hotel that I've been trying to show some love to. That's
Right, yeah.
good.
And it's not just one mic. It's 2 mics on the same night.
2 mics.
They're doing a 7 o'clock clean mic and a 9 o'clock dirty mic.
Yeah. So they call
So, I mean, whether they're a bar and grill,
comedians.
they're all welcome to come
Anybody, no
and
sign
do
up,
both
yeah.
mics. But it gives you an opportunity to work on clean material, and then it gives you an opportunity to work on your not so
That's
clean material.
rad, man. You know, the Nashville scene has a few clean open mics in town.
Gotcha.
All produced by the same group of folks.
And usually runs like that.
Yeah. They run all the same shows, the same mics. Yeah, but like, hey, it's cool. I go to that stuff sometimes. I don't always. I need to do more clean material. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
you and me both.
I mean,
I got one more show, December 21st, Glam World Network, GNW presents Glam World Holiday Talent Show at the Jazz Spoon Canatina in Forest Park, Ohio. Zip code 4240. It will be in, like I said, Ohio. So I guess that's
That's gonna be fun.
Forest Park. So come through. That's December 21st. Come through and show some love. Other than that, I'm everywhere. You never there. Get involved with stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know the vibes, hopefully you've been notified because it's been notarized.
And
Yes,
if you're
it
looking
has.
for me
I
on
like the vibes.
if you're looking for me on socials, you can find me at James Andrews Comedy on most platforms. On TikTok, I'm James Andrews Official because I had James Andrews Comedy and got hacked. And now the Chinese,
fuck.
for 3 years, won't give me my old
Yeah,
my old
Instagram
thing
got hacked too. Like a couple
back.
years
So
ago. Yeah.
I had to rebuild my TikTok presence. I got about 1,500 followers at the moment, but I mean, it is what it is. It's probably a bunch of people from the Philippines, to be honest, if we're thinking about it that way. But anyway, yeah, you can find me on all those socials. I post a monthly list of all my shows where you'll see me. I do the third Thursday at the Mad Axe for an open mic. I do the last Saturday of the month for a book show at the Mad Axe. Excuse me. And like I said, that's in Richmond, Kentucky. It's an axe throwing venue. They have darts, they have pool tables, they have cornhole, they have pop-a-shot, skee ball. They have everything in this fucking place. So it's not just a comedy show. You can come have a date night and then come to a show. So it's really a cool deal. And they all my tickets for my book shows are $10 in advance. You can buy them on Eventbrite. And what else was I going to say? On big weekends like Thanksgiving weekend, when that's the last weekend, we go the week before. So that's why November is moved up a little bit. So it's the weekend before Thanksgiving. But after that, fourth Saturday of the month and third Thursday of the month at the Mad Axe.
That's sick, dude.
I mean,
yeah.
When you're a single dad, you can only do so much. I had 4 shows.
Right. That's true. I was producing a lot of stuff for a while.
It's
too.
hard,
I was
isn't it?
producing a show and an open mic, 2 different venues.
It's hard to get comedians to stay true to their words when they're coming to be booked, too.
Yeah, sometimes you have that where they bail out. It's annoying. And
I
they're
have been
also running
overbooking, and that's bit me in the ass, too.
this podcast, like booking for the podcasts that we have. Because I book for this one, and I do book for the Saturday show. And so does Rev. Like, we work together on that stuff, but like it's so many shows to book, So
Right. Shout out to this show, Deliciously Enough.
We're grateful
Thank
for
you.
the
Y'all
audience
like-
that watched us tonight.
Yep.
yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe. My bad, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe.
We can't wait to be back.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep. Hey, baby.
How you
Just
doing?
know that you were talked about.
Yeah, that's how I know.
Yes.
That's what
We
makes
said
it
great
better.
things.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck
Thanks,
you
guys.
all. Good night.